What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Henny gang, 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 gang. Thank y'all for waiting in the chat. For those of y'all who have been here, I know some of y'all have been here since the thumbnail went up. I greatly appreciate all of the love and support that y'all always give. But tonight we're gonna do something special. So there will be no intro, no none of that. We're gonna get straight to all the Henny because I think this is gonna be a long and good one. Tonight I have my fellow teammates up here.
Man,
Due Ms and Yah-L. Y'all know them from Damu-Keyway conversations, but we gonna get a little up in their business the way that we do at the bar. So y'all want
wait, my business.
Yes, we gonna get in your business.
Oh, wait a minute, Deuce. You ain't tell me you trying to figure me out. Hey, niece, listen, hey, Deuce.
I done told you I'm not your niece.
Hey, you are who I say you. Hey,
you're
listen.
not welcome in this interview, sir.
All right, you know what? You got that. You got that. I'm a follow suit. This is your stage. There will be no CS2 activity for now. I swear.
No, I can't say you can't because the people like the CS2 back, you know.
Man.
But go ahead and for those who don't know, which I don't know, who wouldn't know, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'll let Yah-L go first because he's the Keyway pop star.
Oh my
I don't want
God.
no problems. Y'all got the blue M&Ms on the left side of the table.
Oh, no, it's purple M&Ms on the left side of the table.
It's blue.
You want blue straight. Now?
I've been wanting blue. I'm a Keyway. I ain't from Grape Street. Salute to my niggas from the G. Yeah, man. You know
okay. So shout out to your set. Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm Yah-L, if you don't know. The one and only Yah-L, straight out of Yampton, which is AKA also known as Compton, California. Yeah, man. And I'm here for this great interview with my sister Henny, man.
All right.
And then I'm Due Ms, the Don, CEO of Active Chucks Entertainment, chairman of the board of directors for Active Chuck Charitable Org, and CEO of Thug Torius G's Damu Kiwe Conversation. I'm the Damu, and he's the Keyway. Blood and Crip in Swahili. Let's go.
Let's get it
together. All right. So before we get into anything, how did y'all come up with this Damu and Keyway conversations?
I don't know. Y'all know I can talk.
Yeah, I know, man. But look, it's always good when he elaborate. But you know, Deuce M's had a room called Real Damu Love, which was a predominantly blood room on Clubhouse, right? So I would go to his room. He will always be politicking on various topics: community, politics, belief system, relationship, just everything, you know. But it was predominantly Damus, and it was a gang of them. But you had a sprinkle of Keyways like myself and a few other guys that had come in the room and show love. So one day we were having conversations. We would always have these conversations. Him being the Damu, me being the Keyway, we'll just always talk, like politic with each other, like shit, like niggas on the 4 yard, like on the 180 yard. We be politicking, but we on the streets. So we'll have these deep conversations about, you know, informants and how the community can get better and everything. And I remember somebody saying, y'all should just have a Damu Kiwe room, but Deuce was already on that, like having to merge. And we end up leaving this one room on Clubhouse called the UOD.
Okay.
It was a gang of bullshit going on, a lot of tender dick shit going on, a lot of just miscellaneous fuck shit. And Deuce Ms left, and I followed suit because I felt as a leader, Deuce was a good leader. Deuce had good understanding on a lot of topics. He had a good broad understanding on how to delegate situations, and I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? So when he left the room, I had a few little situations, so I left the room with him. Long story short, he had a room with the Real Damu Love. He ended up turning that room into the Damu Kiwe room, and it's been up ever since.
Okay.
And if Deuce got some more elaboration, I'm pretty sure he has his view of it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's identical, but I do. Those are the things that I remember.
Well, the Damu Kiwe was already kind of like within who I am as a person.
Right.
Going to federal prison, the politics a little different. The California Bloods and Crips ride together. They're one car. So I was already that learned how to politic that way. I did 10 years in federal prison. So I already had Active Chucks Entertainment, which is the red Chuck and the blue Chuck, and the vision that I already had. So this was just really a progression and evolution of what Active Chucks as an entertainment company was for the podcast and the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When he say that we was at the UOD, we was going up in the UOD. I mean, multiple viral videos and
We did
all that stuff, and going up against CS2 back. And he, like he said, it was a lot of fuck shit that we don't really deal with. And so we left, and exactly how he said we started it. And then from there, we 5,100 Clubhouse followers strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, brick by brick.
Now that's interesting because, like, from the outside, when you look in and you see Damu-Keyway, it's like, wait, because if you're not from Cali, like myself, I'm not from Cali. I do know that from what I do know, this is not something that happened. And I know I'm going to tell my age, which I don't care because I look good for my age, damn it. I remember when the Bloods and Crips were banging on Wax together, okay, back in the day, and they called peace, but then that all of a sudden went out the window and y'all were feuding again. So to see that y'all are coming together is a beautiful thing to see. But I also want to know, you talk about politics being different from when you're behind the wall and when you're out on the streets. So you want to expound on that for people who don't understand?
Behind the wall, the politics is real serious. People live there. They sleep there. Some of them never go home. So they want to make the best out of a terrible situation. And to do that, everybody utilizes diplomacy and respect. You know what I'm saying? You can, somebody could take a top ramen soup, which is about 25 cents in prison, and steal it from somebody who's a millionaire. But that millionaire got 360 months to life, 30 years to life, and based on a principality, so no one else think it's cool to take anything from him. He might be waiting at the microwave, watching you for 3 days with some baby oil in a bowl, and wait till you use in the restroom and come up over there and throw some hot baby oil on you and stab you to death. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So just based upon that, you got different geographical areas. California, predominantly Los Angeles, San Diego, we pretty much ride together the Blood and Crip card. And we really didn't have that many problems because it was so serious. People think politics is such a negative thing, but if you don't have diplomacy and maintain them politics, then you have total chaos. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was it get real serious and tricky, you know.
Okay. So how did you end up coming into the gang life? Deuce, you want to go first?
Oh, my shit's so long.
Oh, you want Yah to go first?
Yeah, let y'all go.
Oh man, I got introduced to the community around like 12 years old. I was 12 years old. I was going to Walton Middle School, and I had lived in my community for years, for about 10 years. And then we moved to the east side of Compton, where I lived in the Elm Street Pirus, and then I ended up living in the east side Santana Block Crib Hood for about 6 years. When I got in the 7th grade, going into the 8th grade that summer, I moved back to the west side of Compton, that's where I spent the remainder of my childhood and my adulthood year. I got a little older. Like I said, I was about 12 years old. I became from my community. The introduction was I would go to school and I wouldn't have a lot of lunch money. And one of my homeboys at the time, he would buy me lunch. Like I would get in the lunch line, and kids used to clown you for, I don't know why, eating the county lunch. You feel me? If you was cool,
you was eating the bunk.
if you was cool, you had a couple of dollars. You'll leave campus and go to Carl's Jr. around the corner, or you'll go to like the little food spots around. So he'll be like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna buy you some pizza," and he will do that. And it was like almost like a little brotherhood he started with me, and it wasn't just him. It was about, I want to say about 3 or 4 other brothers up there, and we all hung out together. So from that day, I remember like my third month in school, I had told him, I said, you know what, y'all be treating me cool. We be hanging out. I'm gonna just be from the set. And I got put on at school, and then went to my community and got put on again.
Okay, so when you say put on, you mean you got jumped in, or?
Yeah, I had to fight the dudes.
You got jumped in twice, Yah-L?
Yeah.
Damn.
The politics, because it was like, shit,
right.
Nigga, you at school. Like, so what? We homies at school, but you got to go to the hood.
Right.
And it was funny when I went to the hood. The older cats was like, they know me. They like, you little L, huh? Because they knew me from my dad. And I'm like, yeah. They like, you ain't got to get put on. And my homies was like, nah. Ain't no favoritism, nigga. You get put on. So I laughed. I was like, fuck it, you know, and I squabbled up again. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning of my journey. And I've been from there since I was 12 up until now. Like the politics of the community, I don't stand for. Like, I don't stand for those politics, but I love my community, and I love the brothers that stand on what I stand on. I love all the brothers, but I love those who stand on business and that understands, like, you have to outgrow certain things. You know what I'm saying? Certain mental constructs that was devised to keep us apart and to keep us beefing and to keep us in that negative light of hatred, in a sense of he got more money than me, he's more flyer than me. You have to get up out of that. You know what I'm saying? And I've outgrew that understanding, and I developed a whole another understanding, especially dealing with my brother Deuce, man. Just my perspective is different now. You know what I'm saying? Way different. But that was the introduction, and yeah.
So you a double C. You a double.
Yeah, I'm a 2. Yeah, I'm my hey, dude. I remember I was talking to Due Ms Yah-L, and he was like, man, you gotta stop holding dudes to your expectations. He said your PV don't mean and don't represent they PV.
Right.
And I had to really understand that. Like, I already articulated it, but when you hear it on a repetitive level, because you be so caught up in your mind, and you be so caught up in, I was caught up in more so emotions and my feelings, because when you love something, you use your feelings, your heart, you know. So, and I loved my community, but I didn't love the things that was going on.
Right.
So yeah.
My situation, I got put on by the Crips.
wait.
Oh yeah, here we go.
You gonna have to tell that story. But wait a minute. Welcome, Evelyn, to the other side. You are a member now. Xavier, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate you, love. All right, go ahead, Deuce. Tell this story, because wait a minute.
So I was competing in spelling bees and all of that. 7th grade, you 5 in kindergarten. So I'm about 13, 14. And I don't want to gang bang. I see the dudes my age, a couple years older, getting shot, going to jail. So I'm like, man, I'm finna try to use this brain and find a way up out of this, right? And I was with some, you know, I'm still moving in the streets and stuff, graffiti and all of that type of stuff. And we had a couple females, and we trying to bone, right? So we going to go get some drink and some cigarettes and some blunts and stuff at the store. And right when we walk out the house and turn off the corner off, we coming down 35th to turn on the Budlong, a station wagon was going first, which was like the recon mission they had with some young dudes, younger than me. I'm like 14. The dudes couldn't have been more than 12. And then an Astro van come turning right behind them with a big old ugly stocky dude, and he looking real hard. I'm like, man, y'all know them dudes? Like, no. So we like, hey, all y'all go keep walking. They ain't gonna mess with y'all girls. We don't want nothing to happen, and these girls get caught up. And right. Like, man, who is those dudes? I'm like, well, they have to come all the way back around the block. At least we'll be on the driver's side of the Astro van. Man, they didn't go around the block. They came right back the same way street they came, slid the sliding door, and they unloaded 52 shots. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And I seen people get shot and die from ricochets. You know what I'm saying? So any one of those 52 shots could have took me out, and I wasn't even a gang member. Right. I never been a pussy, always been a fighter. So That night I made a decision I wasn't gonna be the victim or the prey, I was gonna be the predator. And I got with my uncle, and he was like, I heard you got shot at. I'm like, yeah. You like use a brim already, your dad's a brim, we brims. You know what I'm saying? So it was nobody to put me on red flag, but I would have beat flag ass. You know what I'm saying at that time. And everybody else was adults. So I got on a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? The G way. And we ain't gonna talk about all of that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like I don't want, but yeah, so
like, no, don't say it.
Don't say on YouTube.
Right.
Okay, so that's interesting right there. So, all right. So you were a part of that lifestyle in the 80s?
No, I'm not that old. Damn.
Okay. I'm at
13, 14 is 91, 92.
First of all,
Do Sims 38.
Stop telling. Hey, didn't they tell you not to title tell?
I was lying, bro.
Hey, now I'm a little bit
lied.
older. I'm a little bit older than 38. I'm 46. A mature 46. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, so the 80s, yeah, I get it, right? Because in the 80s, I was little too. Okay, my bad. You was in the 90s. All right. Yeah. Because I'm only a year younger than you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's why I said I am not ashamed of my age. I look good.
Now you see, I just told him I'm 46. I mean, I ain't seen 46 look this good. Hey.
All right. So now you've mentioned that you have you've been away. So in your time away behind the wall, what made your life different?
Man, I hate jail. Honestly, I hate jail. I like waking up with a bad woman on the side of me, right? I hate people telling me what to do, right? But really what it was my son started going through mental health issues and depression. I had did 10 years in the feds. When I caught the bank robbery charge to go to the feds, my baby mama, my ex-wife, was pregnant with my son. So I never got to see his first steps, teach him how to ride a bike. So as he grew up, he would always visit me every week. She'd come visit me and all of that while I was still in California, but even moved to close to the penitentiary where I was at to make sure that I was able to still have a relationship with my son. But when I got out, he was 8, almost 9 years old. And he was saying, hey, Dad, promise me you're not going to go back to jail. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm not going back to jail. I promise you. And I made a promise to that little boy, not understanding how much he looked up to me. He adored the time that we got to spend going to the Laker games. He was a Kobe fanatic just like me. Dodger games. And so when I ended up going to state prison and got arrested, it broke that kid's heart. You know what I'm saying? He started dealing with abandonment issues, depression, you know what I'm saying? And he tried to unalive himself. You know what I'm saying? So that was something where, for me, whatever it is, I take it how it come. From all the things I done been through, I know I'm going to find a way to come out on top at the end. And all I got to think about is myself. But at that point, I realized how my actions directly affected somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That I'm responsible for. So I knew at that point it was I had to change the way that I thought and the way that I moved. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did.
Now, Yah-L, have you been behind the wall?
Yeah. I've been behind the walls before. I've never been to the feds, and I've never been to the penitentiary. I've been to like the wayside, the county, and all that. I like to give credit to some of the people in my life. First off, all praises to the Most High, all praises to the Creator for at those times when I was out there in the streets, I was doing stuff, and the wisdom of how to move in certain aspects, I was able to move, and I'm here today. I'll say that. But I didn't caught cases, never for super amount of long years. I was fortunate. I'm gonna just say I was very fortunate. Very, 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 very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, I can attest that you're very fortunate to that situation, you know.
Yeah, besides like the I'm not gonna say minor because catching gun cases consecutively will get you some they'll get you some time, so that happened, but yeah, just never elongated years. I never did elongated years. Never
Well,
did
I
elongated
know
years.
Deuce, you mentioned something that I just want to touch on before we move from this subject because it's something that we don't hear often. You mentioned that you missed your son's first steps, you know, his words, him getting to teach him how to ride a bike. And when you came home, he was no longer in the belly. He's now 9 years old. How did that feel as a black man, as a father? How did that feel? Because we don't get to hear those types of stories often. So you want to touch on that just a little bit?
As a failure. You know what I'm saying? In one of my songs, I said that I might be the most known blood, but I'm a poor excuse of a dad. You know what I'm saying? Those integral moments to bond with him when he was growing and evolving, when he was being bullied at school, right? Not being able to be there as a man to teach him, look, if they try to jump you, you fight both of them. If you can't beat them up, you pick something up and you beat both of their ass with it. You know
That's
what
what
I'm
my dad
saying?
told me.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Um, and also just the time being able to all them calendars. You talking about 10 calendars, birthdays, Christmases, right? And I get them gifts here and there whenever I was financially capable when I was incarcerated, but it's just not the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's integral for a child to have both parents to give them that balance. When you leave a child like me, I go to prison, and now his mother, shout out to my baby mom. She's the greatest mother I ever seen go hard for her kids to the moon and back. But at the same time, a woman can't teach a boy how to evolve into a man. He's going to learn how to think and react to situations the way he sees her doing, right? Which is sometimes be off emotionally based decision.
Right.
A male is supposed to teach him how to be strategic, calculative, and make decisions, because responsibility comes whenever you make these decisions, because one day you're going to be making them decisions for somebody else. I didn't get that from my father, and then here goes the cycle. I wasn't even there to give that to my son. You know what I'm saying?
So now, did you have that when you were growing up? What was your life like growing up?
Me?
Yeah, both of y'all.
Hell no. My dad he's a gang banger. Now you got gang members that are part of this association and stuff. Then you got gang bangers. My dad is a 66-year-old gang banger. You know what I'm saying? Like,
OG blood.
yeah, he up, but he's not gang banging against Crips, but that mentality, that energy he still puts out into the universe every day. You know what I'm saying? We could go buy a pair an outfit or something from the mall, and he get into it with the people and be ready to crash out. He was incarcerated majority of my life. We went to go visit him, similar to my situation, here and there, till my mom got tired of that. And then we'll talk on the phone whenever we could talk. The first time I remember since I was like 5 or 6 years old, which I can't remember that far back. I remember a red baseball bat and playing baseball with him, but other than that, I have no memories of him till I turned 15. When I turned 15, I was gang banging at that time. Just got out of camp, community placement in LA, and he just got out the penitentiary. I'll get off my grandmother's porch on 37 Drive, and I see somebody walking. He like, Montego Bay, like Monty, right? Montego Bay. And I'm looking at the dude, and I'm like, damn, it's kind of eerie. He like, you don't know who I am? I'm like, nah. He like, I'm John Jr., nigga, I'm your daddy.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, this John Jr. You know what I'm saying?
He said, okay, this John.
All right.
And so it's a different dynamic because both of us being gang members and gang bangers or whatever at that time, you know, my pop like, oh, I'm finna get you some pussy today and let's go talk to your people. Let's go get a sack, right? The homies want to see you. They got a sack for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just was a different dynamic. It's kind of like the movie South Central. The little kid, OG Bobby Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you basically, this is deeper for you. This is breaking a generational curse.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. It's tough talking about it right now. You know, it's tough.
You want to pass the question?
I just want to tell my daughter I love her, and I'm here. You know, it's sad when parents can't be parents. You know, so I love my daughter, but I grew up in a 2-parent household. I was fortunate to have both of my parents. My mom recently passed away about a year ago, and she left behind 12. Yeah, she left behind 12 children and her husband, and 32 grandchildren.
Whoa. How many children?
12.
Yo, mama birthed 12 kids.
Now I know why you be acting like a perv. It's in your genetics.
Wait a minute. Which number are you?
I'm number 5.
Okay.
I'm the oldest son, but I have 4 little brothers and 3 little sisters, and I have 4 older sisters.
Okay.
And my mom had 12 kids total, but she had 17 pregnancies in all, and she had 5 miscarriages.
Y'all didn't have cable, huh?
We grew up. We was living, like I said, we was living in the hood. You know what I'm saying? We was living in the. I mean, you know.
Well, no, that was a joke, y'all. That was a joke. You know, that's a joke they say when people got a lot of kids.
Yeah, when they got a lot of kids, yo. It was, all right, yeah. Y'all wasn't doing no TV watching, but yeah, we lived in them jacks for a while, and like I said, man, we was struggling like everybody else, trying to make ends meet. And I just feel like for me, my sisters were like trying to be big brothers, but they couldn't be a big brother to me. You know what I'm saying? And by that, like, I just felt like as a kid, I didn't want to be around all these women. You know what I'm saying? So I found the most hard-headedest little dudes that I ran with at school, and we all hang around each other. Like when I was younger, I recall myself when I was going to Mayo Elementary on the east side of Compton. It was a gang of little hard-headed Crips and a few sprinkle of Bloods up there, and I knew them. Then when I went to Whaley Middle School, it was Blood, it was Power Rules and Crips. You know, so I got a taste of both. You know, and it wasn't until I, like I said, moved to the west side of Compton until I got my whole gist of being in a predominantly Crip school. But yeah, growing up, like I said, my parents, they tried their best to, you know, keep me on the right path. I played football. My mom at the time was very heavy into church, and you know what they say about the church kids, them be the baddest ones, they be the worst. They be the worst ones, you know. But like I said, my mom and my dad, they, you know, they were good parents. They tried their best to keep us on the right path, and as a, you know, we make our own decisions, you know. Right. I just feel like when I chose the community chose me back, and it made me the man that I am today, you know.
So now both of y'all do music.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did that start?
I'll let you go first, Yah-L.
Go ahead, hit my Bremen, because the hit my Bremen was out first. So
yeah, but even before Hit Your Bremen, we was doing music. I recorded my first mixtape when I got out of California Youth Authorities. I had went to youth authorities for attempted murder, got dropped to assault with a deadly weapon, gang violence. I caught a rival enemy in our territory, and I tried to kill him. So when I was in YA, I was in YA with a Scarty X, an old Bay Area rapper had a song called Peckerwoods, right? All Peckerwoods, but a high. Now he was like a militant Muslim rapper, right? He had songs with Tupac though, 3 Times Crazy, all of that. But he taught me how to hit the tempo and beat the tempo with a toothbrush on the bunk, and I started writing and composing music. And when I got out, I said, all right, I'm starting Active Chucks Entertainment, and this is my dream and all of that. My big homie come, shout out Reggie Cudahy, man. Cudahy come to the projects. We shooting dice, selling what we shouldn't be selling and all kind of stuff, right? And he like, which one of you little niggas can rap? So I'm like, man, what? Me? He said, I got the studio. Come on, all y'all get in the van. We finna go to the studio. I said, right now? He said, right now. So we went to the studio and we recorded. And most people was freestyling, but I had about 4 albums worth of written music. And so I was able to spit stuff to almost every beat they came with. He was like, man, I see you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, just make sure. My bad.
He said, I see you taking it seriously. Look, man, I want to record a demo with you or whatever. Well, that demo ended up getting to 92.3 the beat. And I got selected to perform in the Budweiser Best in the West, right? Which was 1,000 people tried out. 50 people were able to perform at McCadden Musical Institute. Shout out JJ Howard. Shout out 92.3 the beat. And then I had also did, I think it was Club Lingerie or some club like that. And then after that, that's when I ended up going to jail. You know what I'm saying? To the feds for the bank robbery.
Now, how old were you when you started doing the music?
About 17. About
Okay.
17 years old. And so the album never had dropped. I was with Just a Few Records. We did that. It didn't work. I went back to jail. I did the 10 years. I thought my career was going to be over. I get to the federal halfway house. My homies plugged me with a producer, Track D. He wasn't a super producer at that time. His son was on the couch in a house, a little makeshift pre-production studio. And I'm out the federal halfway house. And I recorded 4 songs in like 3 hours. I had to be back at the halfway house. And from then I started messing with Track D, DT, The League of Stars, and I'm just dropping stuff. I started getting booked for shows. Shout out Yard Down Music. I put together my first show at Club Cheetahs. Shout out YG. Shout out Joe Moses. Joe Moses came and performed free. I booked YG. Shout out OGE Live, Mucho Dinero, TP, Bad Seed. They're my brothers. And they was like, damn, he fresh out the feds. His first show, Club Cheetahs Hollywood, like he put it together like fresh out. So not only did I come in the door as an artist, I came in the door as a businessman. I profited that night, couple $1,000s, you know what I'm saying? After everything. So from that, one of my homies, G-Nut from Yard Down Music CEO, he hollered at me like, man, you figured out something I didn't. I've been renting out places and be happy to make my money back. You paid me some money. Like, how did you come out with a, and I was just told him, I don't pay for no clubs, right? And so we had that whole little movement going. Nobody was really doing no big numbers, 30, 60,000 on videos. And then I dropped the Hit Your Bremen. Shout out to my boy AOB Fingers. Me and Fingers, I picked him up, booked studio time. And in 30 minutes, I had the biggest hit of my career, 2.2 million views on YouTube, MTV in Italy. Kanye West reposted it. And it was at that time, I was able to catch the wave of Hit Your Rollin', Hit Your Ricky. All of these dancing, Hit Your Ricky was on 106 in Park and MTV. And our video ended up doing more than their video did, almost double. You know what I'm saying? So from there, I went back to jail, to state prison. While I was in state prison, I solidified a distribution deal with Neil Reed Worldwide, which is a publishing company, Black-owned for like 90 years or whatever. The family held that holding company. and Sony Worldwide from prison. I got my first deal while I was in prison. I got out and I've been back on it.
Yah-L?
Oh man, my first introduction to music was, I want to say 2006, 7. It was around the time one of my homeboys died.
Oh, he a new booty rapper.
Well, at least he don't mumble rap.
Right. Oh, he definitely don't.
No, I don't do the mumble rap, but salute to those who do, man. You know, it's a target market for everything, right?
That's true.
But yeah, I started doing music like around 2005, 2006. I was a part of a group. Don't care to mention it. It was a group of my.
No, you got to give Henny the exclusive, bro. We want to hear all of that.
I was a part of a group called AO Squad, and being a part of that group, I was the singer / rapper. And at that time, I to me, in my mind, I wasn't developed. I wasn't seasoned. I was flirting with the idea of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was dealing with them. The dude that was the head of the group, he had an auntie that has a baby's father from the group Color Me Bad.
Okay.
I wanna sex you up. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm singing a little bit more, y'all.
Nah, bro.
I don't remember, bro.
That's all I remember was I wanna sex you up. That song. Remember that song?
Oh,
Shut
man.
up, bro.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah. Nah, but look, so that we formed a group and we were supposed to, you know, have a little situation when I believe at the time Universal, and then management it plummeted. It was trash. And then after that situation, I had ended up meeting these individuals that the studio that I record at now. I had put an EP together. I ended up backtracking. The dude from the group that I was in, he heard I was doing music and we wanted to politic together. So we started politicking. I ended up coming up with another EP, had a situation with Sony, contract was trash. That plummet, you know what I'm saying? And at the time it just seemed like I don't know how my music career was going to formulate until 2020, 21. I ended up meeting Wally the Sensei.
Okay.
Wally the Sensei out of Compton. He came to my community. We was hanging out. He knew somebody from my community. He used to hang out with this dude by the name of Nardo, and they was hanging out. So one day, Nardo and some other dudes was telling him like, yeah, my homie, he do music. He be singing and rapping. He know how to write. And Wally walked up. We had a conversation. We started like trying to like devise a plan to do a record. I ended up booking some time. He ended up coming, getting the time, paying for the time and everything. And we wrote a song. I ended up writing verses and constructing the hook of Scandalous, which is a hit record out here in Los Angeles, very big record. And he's on the hook. I helped construct the verse with Mar and myself.
Okay.
And the hook, the harmonics on the hook. And that's one of the biggest songs of my career. I freestyle. I write for other artists. I do a lot. I sing R&B. I just don't produce and I don't make beats. But that's kind of like how my career happened. And I ended up getting in contact with Joe Moses, one of Due Ms homies. We did a record. That's another record that I'm working on. Shout out to Joe Moses and shout out to the Coyote Brothers. It's two Hispanic dudes out of Hawthorne, California. And they're doing their thing right now. Joe Moses is doing their thing. And I got a record with them called Sections. So we getting ready to drop that record pretty soon. I politicked on the record because at the time, the Coyote Brothers were signed to Wack CS2 Back. We call them CS2 Back. They were signed to them, and I was just determined not to put the record out because they were still signed to him. And then it just seemed like a blessing happened where they ended up getting out that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Once they got out that contract, I told Deuce I want to put that record out, and we politicking right now to get that record out right now. So,
well,
and that's kind of like the whole gist of my career, how it all formulated.
Thankfully, you didn't sign to that and they got out of that, because we've all
Yeah,
seen how business goes. So I have a two-part question for y'all. So
yeah.
both of you guys have had industry deals or offers. Is that easy to get in California? And did you see that as your way out?
I see. Well, once I understood the business, I studied the Digital Millennial Copyright Act. I read Donald Passman's Everything You Know About the Music Industry. The music, it presents you a platform to monetize in various other ways. The music never is the way for you to get rich. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at Nipsey, you think Nipsey or Jay-Z made more money off their music or their other business endeavors. You know
There
what
are
I'm
the
saying?
businesses, of course.
So I knew when I got the deal with Sony, it was also a production deal for a documentary that I'm coming out with, a small budget, but when you talk about movies, but it was for 1.5. But rest in peace, Cheryl Reed. She passed away right about 4 months before I came to jail. You know what I'm saying? But no, I looked at it a way for me to generate currency. Like I said before, I was selling dope. I found a lot of success in that. I had a very good connect, you know what I'm saying? A couple of them, right? But I also found success in bank robberies and orchestrating bank heists. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that couldn't last forever. You touch an iron, you might not get burnt, but you keep doing it. Your arm get tired, you get relaxed, and then you leave it there too long, and now you done got burnt. You know what I'm saying? So when my baby mom told me that that she was pregnant, that was the first time in my life that I ever thought about past tomorrow. Because before that, I took it for granted. Oh, somebody gonna kill me and it's gonna be honorable because I died for the set. Or I'm gonna get a life sentence, but it's gonna be honorable because I died for the set. But when that happened, you're right. That's exactly what I thought. Damn, this might be able to create an opportunity for me to generate legal income for the first time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, no, I wasn't thinking about music being the outlet. My whole thought process was this: I was hearing artists in the industry, and I just didn't like them.
Okay.
I just didn't like the music. I didn't like the songs. I felt like at the time of when I was growing up, listening to certain records, and I'm not talking about the R&B aspect. I'm talking about like the rap and certain hip hop that they were trying to. I feel like force feed on us. You know what I'm saying? Like certain artists, I felt like where they were force feeding on us. You know what I'm saying? Like artists like Ray J.
You didn't like the One Wish and the Sexy Can I?
I didn't like none of that. That shit was boof. I felt like it was force fed. I feel like one thing I started learning about music is that media manipulation and repetitive. If you pump something in your ear a lot enough, you'll repeat it and you'll regurgitate it, and it'll set in you. And
like Laffy Taffy, D4L.
Yeah, like songs like, you know what I'm saying? So
there's songs you don't like that you end up knowing all the lyrics to because it's so repetitive.
Because they put the budget behind that record and made you like it. I didn't genuinely like these songs, and I still genuinely don't like them. But regardless of all that, I felt like I could do something better. I felt like when I started to do music, I felt like authenticity was taken away from the communities because the industry loves to manipulate and monetize off of our pain.
Right.
Off of our pain, off of our bloodshed, off of our trauma. And they seem like they'll pick certain people to try to emulate us. And I was getting tired of it. But I didn't understand the business at the time. I didn't understand what the machine was. I didn't understand how they, selective politic these individuals and put them in front. And I'm like, I don't like these artists.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to be no hater. Like, it just seemed like every time you open your mouth, oh, here he go with this. And it was like, bro, y'all don't even like the song. Y'all just listening to it because it's on the radio. So long story short, I just felt like I could make music that people would genuinely like. And I was right. I made a song and I freestyled it. My freestyle is a well-known verse, and the song that I helped write is a well-known song. So I felt like that was proof in the pudding right there, you know?
So what's next for you guys musically?
Go ahead, Yah-L. You was already cooking.
Well, right now for me, I'm working on an EP. I'm working on like 2 EPs, an R&B one and kind of like melodic hip, Afro beat record and a melodic hip hop, a melodic hip hop record. Like I like singing and I like making harmonies. You know what I'm saying? Like I do like backgrounds, a lot of harmonies and stuff like that. So I want to impose new genres and new ways of implying that into the rap world, into the hip hop world. So that's my thing right now.
Okay,
like
wait,
I said,
yeah. So when you sing, what type of R&B are you singing? Is it neo soul? Is it just regular, straight up old school R&B? Is it new generation?
Mine is more so new gangster and rhythm and gangster. You know, it's
so like Bone Thugs and Harmony, but with more harmony.
It's. I mean, you got to understand one thing. You got to understand about rappers or niggas from the hood. We like R&B too.
Well, I know that
we like R&B too. So
yeah, he's a real R&B pop thug.
So it's not just it's not just that, but it's about making all types of music. So like I'll say, gangster R&B is like, giving you my perspective of love and my perspective of relationship, my perspective of heartbreak, my perspective of,
I'm sorry.
I know that sounds because of the joke. Hey, what Oh shit! But I know it's funny because I be joking.
Hey, I'm gonna call you back. Said if you sing, she'll dance. Yeah.
Oh, stop it, man! Stop. Listen.
I want you to sing in the chat.
I know, but listen, we trying to get through this interview,
and that's part of the interview.
I know, but let me elaborate because I just want people to get an understanding. Like we joke a lot, so sometimes people might not take me serious sometimes, but now I'm very serious. I'm very serious in the shit that I say. I'm very serious in the shit that I say and what I do, man. So, I make all type of variations of music, man. I got some new genres that I'm creating with one of my producers right now. Y'all gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy when you hear it, but like I said, I do everything. Due Sims just mentioned Afro beats. I got an Afro beat song with an artist by the name of Damu out of Nigeria, working with him, and whoever else is willing to pay that verse, pay for that song, and get some great music together.
Hey, y'all drop Henny glasses in the chat if y'all want Yah-L to sing.
Oh my god, no.
Deuce, what's next for you?
Somebody said my AirPods is diabolical.
That's Criticality. Shout out Criticality Claim.
Oh shit!
Hey, matter of fact, they got a song that we just was in a studio. Yah-L, Criticality, Tiny Draws. That should be coming out. I love it.
Look at this, Yah-L. Do you see how they are flooding the chat? They want
to. I'll wait.
No, just let Deuce go. Let me build up for this. This is
Come
crazy.
on, you can hit them with "If I Had One Wish."
Oh no, I'm not doing One Wish. I hate that song. I hate it with a passion.
Do you not see over these glasses,
bro? You can't be acting gun shy.
I'm not shy, bro. It's just funny because
they want to hear some of that gangster. That gangster loving.
Let's get to it. Let's get through the interview and I'll do it. I
promise. Oh, boy. You see,
I got you guys.
Now you done crip walked your way up out of that one. But we're gonna spin the block on you on that one. I ain't gonna
spin the block on me.
We're gonna spin the block on them. Okay, before this ends, we're gonna spin the block on them because they flooded that chat. They want to hear.
Oh man.
Turn your camera back on, brother. Turn your camera back on.
Don't be hiding and blushing behind the scenes, okay?
I never seen a black man blush.
Look at him now.
Oh
He blushing.
man, no
Y'all
man,
got
it's
Yah-L
just,
blushing tonight, y'all.
it's funny, man. It's just funny because I be hearing all. It's funny.
Go
It's
ahead,
funny.
Deuce.
Funny.
So I got the March Madness docu-musical coming, a 6-series docu-musical. So the music from that will be the soundtrack, a double CD. That's almost completed. We just editing the documentary and then planning it in. And then the Damu-Keyway compilation. We'll be doing that.
I was waiting to see. Are we gonna get Yah and Deuce on a record together? We gonna get that together?
Well, the Damu-Keyway conversation is you're gonna get some of both of that, but it's not just me and Yah-L as artists. It's me, Yah-L. You got Tiny Draws. You got Critical. You got a lot of other artists that we've been dealing with. Brother Talmud, producers we've been dealing with that been wanting to work. So we want to give them and get a lot of features with the artists that we deal with and put a project out that all of these West Coast artists, that's Damus and Keyways, participate in, promote, because they all have an interest to, you know what I'm saying? To bring some light to our side, that West side, you know what I'm saying?
You have a lot of ideas and stuff that you seem very knowledgeable in the area of music. So who are you managing, Deuce?
John Jeezy, Yah-L, Loverboy TJ, OHB. Shout out OHB. You seen OHB in the paperwork too, Chris Brown crew. And that's pretty much it. My son is rapping now, so I don't manage him, but I've been teaching him how to fish. You know what I'm saying, for himself. What they say in the Bible, you can feed them fish or teach them how to fish and make them a fisher of men. So just teaching him the business aspect. I don't try to intervene with or tamper with his creative process, because I believe everybody's supposed to have their own individual creative process and how they hear their music, how they turn their voice into an instrument. So, yeah.
So how is Yah-L as an artist from a managerial standpoint?
Oh, my God. Hey, so Yah-L as an artist, first and foremost, he still has contractual obligations to UMG Capital from what he didn't tell y'all, the deal that he did with Wally the Sensei. It was distributed through Universal Music Group and Capital. That agreement, it was 2 songs. So the first one is at like 8-9 million views, the video on YouTube. Yep. But the second song is gonna be his song and a collaboration with Wally the Sensei, who has a pretty big fan base. Talented, the most talented person I ever been in the studio with, outside of Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign, well, he's top 20 most downloaded artists in history now, right? That just shows the creativity, the versatility, and the type of talent that Yah-L got. He's always down to work when I talk to him, but he be, he the Keyway pop star. So he be acting bougie and shit, right? when we trying to get him in the I want my producer, and it better have the blue M&Ms and all of that. But
man, here he goes.
See, he told us it was purple, and you made people so mad they was gonna lick the M off of each M&M and put it in the bowl. I'm playing.
Oh,
I'm playing.
God,
I'm playing. It wasn't
not licking the M's off the damn M&Ms, man. Goodness, we can't even. Oh my God, not licking don't lick my goddamn M&Ms.
Pause.
But I appreciate that, Deuce. And like I said, man, Deuce is a very articulated, very knowledgeable individual when it comes to the business, when it comes to a lot of things. And the fact that getting a high praise and acknowledgement from him, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? I know how to articulate things when I download that.
Wi-Fi. That's that Obama phone, nigga. Hey, he's just playing nonchalant, really. He understands business good enough to pass up a deal that he had on his table that was a bad deal. He knew enough to get a lawyer to go over that contract before he made a decision and denied that deal. He countered, and they was basically trying to okay, that's good. Yeah, you back with us? Oh, you got to go out and come back in. You messing up the content, brother. See, this is what I'm talking about from a managerial position. This is what I have to deal with, man. Nah, that's my brother, man. He in traffic, so I already know how that goes.
Yeah. So, Yah-L, you gonna have to go out and come back in. We see your mic going on and off.
Somebody text Yah and tell him to go out and come back in. That might give him a better signal. But we could go.
All right. So you mentioned active chucks and some community work that you're doing. You want to expound on that? Because first of all, before I go there, I think that community service is something that everybody should be doing in your community, because too often we sit back and we complain about the problems that we see around us every day, but then we don't get up and do something about it. We don't realize that we can start something in our own neighborhoods. It takes a lot of paperwork sometimes, but it's quite simple to do. So first off, what inspired you to get into community work?
Just I was raised even in the gang subculture. In my set, you talk about the brands, Black Revolutionary Independent Militant Soldiers. We was instinct. It's instinctive for us to be territorial. It's instinct for us to control what's going on. Instinctive for us to control what's going on in the community and to be a part and active in the community. You know what I'm saying? Even as a child, I remember mowing people lines without even charging them. Obviously, they'll throw me some or give me some off the ice cream truck. But after tearing down my community, I probably was one of the worst ones, selling drugs and doing all of the things that I traumatizing people. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you got to think, if you get cracking in broad daylight and these kids is walking from school, that's something that they'll never forget. You know what I'm saying? So I started Active Chuck's charitable organization. My mission statement is primarily for mental health. As I told you, my son dealt with it. I later found out how serious it was to me, and I deal with it every day. Like in the 12-step program for drugs, you can be good for 10 years in one decision, and it could all go bad forever. You know what I'm saying? One bad decision. The back to school supply, annual back to school supply drives, we run that. The homeless pandemic in LA, we did a couple events. Labor Day on Skid Row, barbecue, hot meals for over 700 people. Wow. And then to end qualified immunity. Out of all of those, besides the mental health, end qualified immunity is really at the top for me. Qualified immunity is a federal law that holds police to one standard if they shot somebody, unarmed person or citizen, U.S. citizen in the streets today. And then if you did it, you'll be held to a different standard. It takes more to even get them indicted. So they can shoot an unarmed Black or Latino in the community, and the statute would say, well, if it was within the scope of his duties, or not just police, but officers of the court, judges, essentially creating a second-class citizen for anybody who's not a proxy or working with or for the government in some kind of, or the state in some kind of capacity. So we had the Black Lives Matter movement, and that came and went. That was the biggest issue in this country. during the last elections.
Right.
And not one time did I hear Black Lives Matters talking about in qualified immunity. You know what I'm saying? You get Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor, and then you get the House nigga Clarence Thomas. He's a Republican. She's a Democrat. You get Kamala Harris. Before she became the vice president, she was advocating to end qualified immunity. It's the same time Black Lives Matter was moving. Killer Mike, Drew Brees, Calais Campbell. It's a lot of people, famous people that advocate for it, but that message isn't coming down to the community. I believe that every parent should have the peace of knowing to be anxiety free when their son or daughter walks to the store, wondering whether or not the police is going to pull them over, trip, unalive them. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, in qualified immunity, that pretty much sums up what we do with the Active Shucks Entertainment. I mean, charitable org.
Okay, Yah-L, what kind of community service work are you into as well?
Me coaching the youth, giving back to the community, dealing with the homeless, basically anything that's just helping the community out. You know what I'm saying? I had a mural in my community where some people voted me on to a mural, and then just like Nip, you know, motherfuckers come and, you know, hate. So, but at the end of the day, I'm all for the children. I'm all for those who are trying to change. I'm all for those who are trying to do better. I'm all for those who have, you know, no fathers that need mentors. That's part of my community work. Those who are less fortunate, if I can provide any services, any mentorship, any, you know, anything, I'm willing to help.
But what led you to do that?
Being that my parents were involved in the Pop Warner, the youth football, and they were over organization by the name of the Compton Vikings for so many years. I always had a love for football, and then seeing how my parents interacted with different kids and from different walks of life, and you know, the different parents, you know, they were like the grandmother and grandfather of the league. You know, Snoop being one of the individuals who knew my parents very well. Being a part of the Snoop Dogg Football League, I ended up, as I got older, I started coaching. My first year ever coaching, I won the championship.
Nice.
With kids, and then we went back to the championship again, and we won it again. So it's always been in me. I help kids get scholarships. Coaching at Dominguez High School in Compton. My brothers were 2-time champions. I helped coach them. They played ball with Richard Sherman, who was a NFL high official, high ranking corner. Now he's a sports anchor on ESPN. So like, my brothers play football. One of my brothers broke records running track, winning championships, playing football, winning championships. So it's like, it's just always been in me to do something with kids and help them with, you know, sports. No matter what the sport is, I'm just willing to help, you know, whether it be basketball, football, but football being the main sport that I major in. Like I said, I'm willing to help any way I can.
Okay. Now, Deuce, you talked about interactions and holding the police to a higher caliber, a higher standard than a regular civilian. You have a history with the police. You want to talk about that?
We can talk. I'm an open book. Whatever you want to talk.
Let's get into it.
With the
so what happened with what was your situation with them?
I did so much crimes in my community, and the police station knew me by first, last name, street moniker, and everything. Right? I was that active and that much of a fuck up. But you start getting blamed for things that you had nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? So and the word was spreading around about these vicious crimes that were going on, and I was implicated in it. Make a long story short, the police and the homicide detectives raided my mom's house, right? Through the back window, they hopped in without a search warrant, right? Searched the house looking for murder weapons. So my PO was with them, and then the homicide detectives or whatever. from then, the word started to spread. I had a couple of runners at the time that was working for me. I've been an entrepreneur just on the, illegal
Other side of things.
Yeah. And they were getting hemmed up, and they were like, "Hey, look, bro, the police is talking about they after you, and when they catch you." And I'm thinking it's cute. Oh, I'm 19. Oh, the big bad LAPD after me. I'm laughing. I have nothing to do with what they're trying to push on me. So what they gonna do? So one night I was coming out of she wasn't my girlfriend, but I used to bang her or whatever. And then that's where I kept my dope, right? It was like an alley behind it that led to the projects in my neighborhood where most of the clientele used to go. Charlie Wilson, a lot of people, right? It was popping. But they just come there and get it, whatever. So I'm hitting her. I'm coming out the house, and the police happen to be out there. And I seen them. I heard the walkie-talkie. So I'm locking the door, and I look. And I peeked, and it was about 12 police officers, and they flashed the light on me. I took off running naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I get ready to turn from the side of the house towards the front, I just heard like a loud one time, just boom. I'm thinking maybe the police ran into the wall behind me or fell on the steps. I didn't know, but I run into a group of other police who came on the other side of the building. They hem me up and handcuffed me. Shortly thereafter, my friends, her mother came out talking about who shot the gun by her window, and she believes it. So she like, who shoot the gun by me window? You could have killed me now and all this. I'm like, shoot. Well, and the police like, oh, it went off as an accident. I'm like, an accident, right? And it was actually 2 shots. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to assassinate me. So the police got real nervous or whatever, and they were like, no, just take the cuffs up off of them. They were trying to get out of there. Now, mind you, anytime, regular procedure, anytime a police officer discharged their firearm, they have to make a report.
Right.
They never made a report, none of this stuff. So it was after that, I'm like, damn, this shit really getting serious. About a month and a half later, I was walking through the projects, getting my car fixed. The mechanic lived in the projects, and the police were already in there, but I seen them. I'm clean, and I walk in there. They ended up harassing me, searching me. I don't have nothing, so I'm good, right?
Right.
No. They said, fuck that, take them to the station, right? They get to talking about multiple homicides, credit union robberies, and all kind of stuff that I was guilty of. But this cop I never knew before. He was the watch commander, and that I knew at that point that they were having daily briefings about me, right? I'm the subject matter of Southwest Precinct every day. So he said, we're going to take you, make sure you've been reporting to your PO. So I'm like, I'm good. When I get down there, I have no charges. In about an hour, they came back and they said that upon arriving, they conducted a pre-booking search and found 7 grams of crack cocaine in a Newport cigarette box. So if you ever sold dope, it had 19 cigarettes in it. How you gonna fit 7 grams of crack cocaine in a little short box like this, right? Till today, I never even seen that dope. So it was a situation like that. And even when I was younger, the police had choked me out to where I started seeing stars, almost passed out up on the wall, you know what I'm saying? And I was a child. That was child abuse, you know what I'm saying? So I've always had that rebellious spirit. I always been against police. And I understand that they never had our best interests starting off as slave catchers.
Right.
So I have a troubled past and history with them. And then even in prison, where I got 2 staff assaults for breaking a police officer's nose and hitting another police officer, correctional officer, and he said I uppercutted him. He fell and broke his tore his meniscus. They both really had those injuries, but the whole shit was a whole conspiracy. And I was later re-indicted in federal prison right before I was going home for assault on 3 counts of assault on federal correctional officers with great bodily injury. I ended up going to trial and I beat that. That's how I was able to get out to get back to do the music. So yeah, I have a trouble past with the police.
What about you, Yah-L?
Yeah, fuck them niggas for sure.
Now, see, I'm
But
asking this because we know from watching things that have happened, things that make national news. For me, hearing little things here or there from different people across the internet about how LAPD is really.
man,
I don't. I want to watch what I say because we are on YouTube. But it's corrupt. Basically, I could say that it's corrupt.
man, from my family to brothers that I know from the community, I'm gonna start off with my family first. Being that the Redondo Police Department raided my family house, stole money, tried to take Social Security cards. You get what I'm saying? Like, just like racially profiled, push
Oh,
my
that's the
head in.
norm. We don't even mention that. That's just
Look, push my head in the dirt, like put they foot, like they knee in my back, like humiliated my family. Like it was just a lot of stuff. And you would think, they tell you like, oh man, there's some good cops out there. When you join an organization, like Dude said, that was designed to catch your people and hurt your people and murder your people because of who you are, those lines are, it's hard to see clear throughout that. You know what I'm saying? And then,
institutionalized racism. The structure already set up.
right. And being that I have a brother right now wrongfully incarcerated by the name of Freddie Sanders, wrongfully incarcerated, dirty politics with the police and the community. When you got individuals willing to work with massa, hey, boss, they trying to run. They's trying to start a resolution.
Uprising in the fields,
I
boss.
that not me, boss. I was a good one. I likes being under your rulership. When you got that to this to, well, yeah, he did something that he didn't do, and we'll pay you 80,000 to lie.
Right.
It wasn't like they snitched on him. Like, it's not like when you got individuals from the community that do certain things and they get caught and then you like free them, they some real niggas, right? This ain't that. This is a melanated brother who stands on business, who has morals and standards, who was lied on by the police department and a family working together with the police department. And people just turn a blind eye like it's okay.
Right.
And me personally, I can't get down with that. I cannot get down with individuals who are willfully and knowingly doing that. And this brother is sitting in jail, looking at four walls, and he's fucking innocent. That's the hurt. That's the disappointment. That's the shit that I'm talking about. That's the shit I don't like to joke about. Because if it was me or Deuce, you would want somebody speaking up for you. You would want somebody going to bat for you. You would want somebody saying, hey, that's fucking wrong. You should right your wrong and help bring this man home.
Right.
But you don't have individuals standing on, you don't have real men. It ain't about being a real nigga. You don't have real men standing up for their brothers. Just like the biblical commandment says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy brother. You don't take a false statement and make it a truth because you getting paid for it, or you make it a truth because you don't like somebody. It's a lot of niggas I don't like, but I'm not gonna lie on them.
Right.
And that's why I have a distaste and a disdain with the police department and individuals who support acts like that.
And even though a spotlight gets put on the LAPD, we've had our own cases here. There's cases all across the country. So this right here, what you're standing on is something that needs to be recognized and more people need to become a part of. Once you get that ball rolling, I definitely would like to step in and do what I could do to help out as well. I
Yes,
myself
please.
have
Yes.
a son who is incarcerated for 25 years. Yes, he is involved in gang activity. He is a blood, but he got 25 years. Okay, so let Henny say this out loud and openly. Okay, I personally am not a part of a set, but I've been affiliated with certain sets because those are people that I've been around. I've never been a part of. My son was around blood, so it was only natural that he would, if he went that way, become a part of that set. But he's dealt with a lot of the gang politics inside of the South Florida judicial systems and things of that nature. He's labeled as a gangbanger. There's things that he can't do. They won't allow him to do because of his jacket. I've dealt with, the police not calling me when my son got stabbed up 7 times. He's in your care. And I had to find out from his bunkie that he was stabbed up. So it's like the injustice, it just never stops. And this was for an armed carjacking where the witness did not identify him. His DNA was nowhere. They couldn't find the alleged gun that he had, but he still got 25 years in a Florida State Correctional Facility. So he sits and his 20s are already gone. He's 30. He's not, if he ends up doing this time, he may not come home to his late 30s, 40s. So what people don't realize is when we talk about injustices and the way that it ripples out, it's something that we really need to bring to the forefront for people to really understand how this affects us as a people. That the way that the game is set up against us, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Yes, we make decisions and we're responsible and accountable for our decisions, but who holds the system accountable when they don't give the same numbers out? I've sat in court and watched where someone will come out and they have a crime of doing breaking and entering. This one person will get sentenced to a year, while the next person that comes out will get sentenced to 5 years, to 10 years. There's not a standard that if you do this, this is what you get. It's based upon your skin. It's based upon your connections. It's based upon a whole lot of things that have nothing to do with what they claim it stands for. I also experienced being wrongfully raided by the police. I moved into an apartment after some people that were in the apartment. They had their activities going. They moved out. The apartment was empty for 2 months before I moved in. Well, 2 weeks into being in that apartment, the Yonkers Police Department busted my door on a raid with a generalized warrant for a generalized description of a black man. Nothing that was identifiable to the black man that was in my home at that specific time, nor did they do their due diligence to find out where these people went. So now they had guns out on me, guns out on my kids. My kids are traumatized. And yes, I sued the shit out of the police department. You goddamn right. You're wrong. You had no business coming in my home. But it's just those types of things that happen. So I think that that's very honorable and commendable that is something that you're bringing awareness to, because I had no idea of the law that you mentioned. Can you mention it again, Deuce, so people can...
Qualified immunity. We want to end that law. It was enacted up under the Reagan administration. And it's basically what Donald Trump is saying. He want to give all police immunity in these type of situations. They essentially already got that as police officers or workers for the city or proxies of the government. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to end qualified immunity. Go on activechucks.com. You could donate there, or you could go to the End Qualified Immunity, research it, learn about it. And like I said, I just believe every parent should have that type of peace of mind when their kids walk to the street. Like I said, my son, he's 6'5", big youngster, 280, right? Good kid. He's a hack, a techie, computer engineer. He's a college student, but he got anger issues and issues that he's dealing with. And I taught him to stand up as a man whenever he's being wrong. He has that right. Nobody but God should be able to judge him if he's done nothing wrong. So if they harass him while he walking to the store and he's a big young black kid and he's like, nah, man, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. And then they start harassing him. I'm worried because I know that he's taught to stand up, and I pray that something don't happen to him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what up, T-Top in the chat? Salute, King.
All right, so we got a little heavy for a second. So now let's get into some of the stuff that the people want to hear about.
Oh shit.
Because we all have a common op that we deal with and we talk about. So I'm gonna ask, how did you come into the Wack sector of things?
Wow.
I let y'all talk.
He said, wow. You thought we weren't gonna talk about that?
Oh man, this CS2 back character is just, you know, throughout my life, you knew who your ops were, right?
Right.
Like as far as like being from the community, being that you have the Bloods and the Crips and the Power Rules, right? We knew who our ops was. This particular individual is man, he's a character. You know, he hides behind things that represent us, but he doesn't represent us. And being that you have people from the East Coast, people from down south, people from the Midwest, people from all over the world, all in different states that are curious to know, why does this person have a voice? Who is this person? I got associated with the whole being in the Wackisha universe, the CS2 back universe, because of
he lined you up, nigga. Wack lined him up on Clubhouse.
Stop tap dancing. Come on,
he
now.
lined me up on Clubhouse with
Roddy Ricch.
I didn't know how Clubhouse worked at the time. I was fresh on there, trying to network, trying to build myself up as an artist. I was just doing, meeting people, like how me and Due Ms met on Clubhouse, and the fact that he knew I was green to it, and he was like, I was in the room talking to somebody about like somebody said like, oh man, you from Compton? I'm like, yeah. They like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from the Wilmington Norm. They're like, oh man, I know some niggas over there. And I'm like, who? And they named one dude, and I said, oh man, he ain't no good. And they was like, oh, what do you do? I said, he told on somebody, and they booped him about the hood. He snitched. So somebody was like, oh man, so is Roddy Ricch from over there? And I was like, nah, he ain't from over there. He from like Westchester type shit, like in LA, deep in that, like on that type of side.
Westchester is not deep in LA, so stop it.
Not West, wherever the man West. I don't
Westchester.
I don't know where the dude from. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know where he's from. I never heard of him until music. But long story short, I was telling the dude that knew mutual homies who snitched or whatever, and they asked me about Roddy, and I was like, man, I never met the dude until he started doing music, and ran away from home, and lived with the dude that I used to be in a group with. He ran away from home because he didn't want to wash dishes. He didn't want to listen to his stepdad, and he ran away from home. Spoiled little brat type shit. You feel me?
Right.
And after that, I ended up meeting him through the dude I had did music with. He was like, yeah, man, he do music and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Mind you, I had turned down a deal. Mind you, I already had a certain way of how I did music, like a certain
style. When the thing messed up, you didn't get to talk about when you was offered that deal. Could you take off and tell us a little bit about that deal as it's pertinent to what you're talking about right now?
Right. So the deal was offered to me with the guy that had Roddy Ricch. His name was Bird, and through Sony record label. In the contract, it stated they owned everything. My mind, my likeness, my thoughts, my everything. They owned everything, and it was negotiated between both parties. The guy who was to connect to Sony and Bird, they could basically say, we could keep them, take the money, and shelf them. It was a lot of stuff in that contract. It was like a thick little pamphlet. And I said, I don't know what this contract is. We was at El Paso Dory's in Carson, California, at a restaurant, and we said we was all sitting at the table with the connect to Sony and everything. So I took the contract home. At the time, I was dealing with mindless behavior. I had some associates with mindless behavior abuse, R&B boy group out here in LA. I took it to this guy. He let his lawyer look over it. His sister also did a lot of paralegal work. So they all looked over the contract and was like, hey, man, if you sign this, you're going to be in some shit. Have them renegotiate some things. Have them redo a lot of this stuff. If they can do that for you, you could get the better stance. If not, they're trying to fuck you. And I took the contract back. They highlighted a lot of stuff. I asked them, can we tweak this? They said no. One of the dudes said, we could get anybody to sign this. And they did. They ended up they didn't get anybody. They got Roddy Ricch to sign a contract. It wasn't identical because his stipulations was way better than mine. And moving forward, after I turned the deal down, they got Roddy. He ended up, using my style. And there you have the story of him, how he was birthed. Fast forward,
Clubhouse.
The Clubhouse situation. Again, he was basically one of those industry plants. Like, I was telling the dude, like, yeah, Roddy Ricch ain't really from my community. He's just the mascot, bro. Didn't want to gang bang. He wanted to just do music. And the dude that told Roddy that he needed to be from the hood was basically saying, the industry saying you need a backstory. You don't have a backstory. We got to give you one. You got to get put on to make it look official. You got to get put on to make it look official. At that time, I was in my community and I heard it. We politicking. I'm politicking with one of the older homies. He's standing there with me. Roddy comes up to me and him and says, look, he basically started damn near crying, like, I don't want to do this. I just want to be a rapper. I don't want to deal with no politics. I just want to rap. I said, I respect you for that. Don't be from the hood. I'll support you if you don't be from the hood. Because you're not ready for the politics.
Right.
I look up, old boy grabbed him and said, listen, you just got to get a little put on. This is going to be nothing. You're going to be good after that. He got a little fake 3-second put on. Dude told the little homies, don't hit him in his face because he got interviews tomorrow. They follow suit. Right. It was like they kind of like went body. Like not slap box, but like hit each other in the chest type shit. You feel me? And he ended up getting the fake put on. I look up, he Wilmington Norm Park Village out the game. I'm like, what? Like, and I'm politicking. It's me and a few other dudes. We really politicking on him. So he stopped coming to the hood. He was scared. He didn't want to come around us. And then all the bullshit started happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wack ended up hearing about the whole thing. I was on Clubhouse talking about it to a dude. I forgot the dude's name, but we was like it was called the Clubhouse Shade Room. Okay. And Wack came in there like, hey, you know Roddy Ricch? I'm like, yeah, he's from my community. I could get him on the phone right now. Mind you, I hadn't talked to Roddy in like 2 years because they were keeping us separated. They kept us separated. He wouldn't come to the community. And when he came over, he'd be with the family that put that dude Freddie Sanders in jail, by the way.
Oh.
That family put my homie Freddie Sanders in jail. He's innocent. So Roddy was attached to the family that had a bad name in the community. But because of money now, everything's okay. But long story short, Wack found out about the situation. He got Roddy on the phone. I was politicking on my homies, like, get Roddy on the phone. Let me politic with him. Let him know what it is. They didn't want to do that. Wack get him on the phone. Wack do it out of clout. He didn't do it because he genuinely wanted to get a situation resoluted. He wanted clout from it, which he did. Right. So he coaching Roddy the whole time on what to say, how to say it on Clubhouse. Mind you, I'm not knowing how rooms are set up. I'm getting muted every time I ask them questions. They muting me, all type of shit. I'm mad. Like, I'm like, man, why y'all niggas keep muting me? Like, what is like? I don't know what's going on. So he's saying all type of bullshit, high powered bullshit. Like, you ever touched $1 million? Like, saying all type of, like, I'm asking them questions like, nigga, you ain't did nothing for the community. We got real homies in jail, homie. Like, and at the time I didn't mention Freddie because I didn't know the whole story of it all.
Right.
I didn't even know the people that I was hanging around this whole time worked with the police to help put him in jail. I didn't know none of this shit. I knew of something of it, but nobody was telling me the in-depths. I really had to call brothers and families and moms and and other dudes that don't come around no more because they discussed it with the individuals that hang over there. I really had to get them on the phone, and it took years. It was taking years for me to contact them. But again, Wack knew the situation. He was already pre-knowledge of it because the dude that I was in that group with, that family, he would talk to him. He was talking to him directly, and they would share all type of information. They lined me up on Clubhouse. It went super viral, millions of views. Everybody was like, "Oh, you a hater. You just trying to extort them. You wanna be Roddy." I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, y'all really don't know. I'm thinking I'm sharing my story thinking people really care. Man, they don't give a fuck. They already believing because he's in the industry. I'm not in the industry like that. And he's like, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You know
so
what I'm
he
saying?
basically started some shit between you and Roddy.
He didn't start no shit. He just he put the shit to the next level. I'll say this. Roddy was innocent to the whole situation until he said, fuck you and whatever it is you talking about. He basically turned a blind eye because somebody in his circle said, fuck me. He said, fuck me. So when he found out about the person that lied and the person that snitched that's in his community, in his little camp, he said he don't care about none of that and kept promoting that person in his videos, promoting them like they're like a real stand-up individual from the community. And everybody like, shit, fuck it. So what that dude told? So what he snitched? He with Roddy Ricch. And it just made it's a shame.
Yeah, and he was saying Bird name, but essentially they lined him up, and I know for a fact because at that time Wack was trying to woo me over. He was trying to recruit me, right?
What the fuck?
I swear to God.
Whoa.
So look,
yeah.
So he tell me, he say he back channel me on Clubhouse. He said, "Hey, get ready. It's about to get weird," right? In my back channel. So I'm like, so you want me to record? He said, you better record, right? So I said, all right. And then he went and got Roddy Ricch, brought him on Clubhouse. He talked about everything, and Yah-L like, man, nah. He said, so you said I ain't from the hood? He said, a 3-second put on. Are you serious? You couldn't even get hit in the face. And he said, have you ever touched $1 million? He said, wait, first we still talk about your put on. Have you ever touched $1 million? Well, I got what he said. I just made the Forbes. This and that. My daughter, I gotta go pick my daughter up and went out. Right?
My son, he was like, I gotta go pick my son up.
My son.
Y'all can play on Clubhouse. Like it was all calculated, and I was Henny. I was so took back. I didn't know what the fuck happened. Mind you, I knew nothing of Clubhouse. Deuce M's, he knew, but he didn't. I don't think he knew what was fucking happening.
No, all I knew was it was finna get weird. I didn't know what weird meant at that time.
That's what CS2, but not just that, not just the whole Roddy Ricch thing. After that, I started attacking him because he was egging the shit on.
Right.
And then I was.
Well, he was really attacking you at that time. You wasn't on offense.
Yeah, he was attacking me at that time. Like,
and then when y'all finally said something, then that's when he lined him up again with Loose Coochie. Tell him that story.
Man, listen.
Oh, man.
He lined me up with
exclusive. Henny got the content tonight.
So he lined me up with Loose Coochie, man. This clown got in my inbox talking about he was this big producer. Like I said, I never met this dude. Met him through Instagram. We connected. In my mind, I thought an enemy of my enemy is a friend to me. That's what I thought. No. He was sent by the rat himself, Master Splinter himself. That clown.
He had a diss song against Wack 100. So Yah-L asked him, hey, look, man, I don't fuck with no rats, and I don't fuck with Wack 100. Oh, no, I don't fuck Wack.
Wait. Pause.
Yep.
You had a diss song against Wack?
No,
Loose Cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa, Loose Coochie. Ashley got a diss song against Wack. Somebody find that song.
So
Somebody
Ashley,
go find it.
so basically we gonna call him Ashley because he's a bitch, right? So
That's his middle
Ashley
name, though.
Ashley got up under me, had me believing like he didn't fuck with Wack, he don't fuck with snitches, he stand on real business. And I'm like, okay, you seem cool. I'm building rapport with him, getting to know him. He faked like he had Don Tolliver. Y'all know Don Tolliver, right?
No,
Don
I
Tolliver
don't.
is like a singer out of Texas. And he had he faked like he had Don Tolliver in a group text with us, kind of like how he was doing
Fino.
Lady Fino. Like, listen, he faked like he had Don Tolliver in a group text with me. Like, oh yeah, I can't wait to meet you, bro. We gonna work. We gonna go to Las Vegas and record in the Las Vegas studio, and we gonna go to Wack 100. So I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with Wack. He like, oh, well then we could go to a different studio. I like that he was sending little signs, but I didn't catch it. Like when he mentioned Wack, I'm like, nigga, I don't fuck with Wack. Like the fuck.
Right.
Long story short, he I had a situation where I was living and it was getting real bad. Like my living situation, I got real bad. And I basically told Luke's like, listen, bro, I got a lot going on. A lot of your movements is very inconsistent. I really need to fall back and focus on what I need to do. He was like, oh no, bro, I got you, bro. We gonna do this TV show, man. I want you to be a part of it.
No, first he said the tour.
Oh, he had the fucking 21 city tours. It's supposed to be Dre, Lil Durk, all these artists. We were supposed to go on tour. He got the IBM merch. He got the bunk ass fake security guards. All this weird shit. Like, and I'm like, dude, I'm thinking in my head, and I'm asking the dude, like, hey man, is this shit real? Like, cause it seemed like it's a lot of inconsistency with the fuck he's saying. Like, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I don't know him.
Right.
And I'm thinking like it's real, but it's not. It's fake. It's a play to line me up. Long story short, after the whole, he say there was a shooting that happened at one of the concerts. He used all that information to say
because
this is why
I'm pressing. I'm taking over the manager stuff for Yah-L. He like, yeah, whoopty whoop cities with Lil Durk and this and that. I said, oh yeah, tell him to give me the tour date so that we can make sure we set up security for you for those dates that you go or whatever and take out the money and all of that type of shit. And he was like, all right. So he messaged them, hey, send me a list of the tour dates and all of that. And then we'll come up with the contract to make sure that you contractually obligated.
Right.
And he wouldn't send it to me. We on Clubhouse celebrating like, man, Yah-L, this finna be your chance, right? You deserve it, all of this shit, right? Not knowing this little scoochy Ashley, right? So what happened, y'all?
So, wait. CJ wants to know, why was he setting you up like that?
Because he had finally stood back up to Wack. Because he didn't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get on Clubhouse for that, but he finally went up against Wack, who was defending Bird and the family who's supposed to told on Freddie Sanders. So he
lied. They didn't snitch, they lied.
Yeah, lied. Right? That lied on Freddie Sanders. So he's standing up now. Nah, that's my homeboy. Fuck all y'all. Y'all call me a hater, call me whatever y'all want to. This and this and this and that. And so word is that Roddy Rich told Wack 100 for him lining up Yah-L, his artist is gonna get a free Roddy Rich verse.
Right. It was confirmed one day. One of my homies was in the studio. I'm not gonna disclose his name, but he was in the studio with Bird, bitch ass. And Bird was on the phone with Wack saying, like, nigga, if you don't do this shit to Yah-L, like if you don't, do the bullshit, I'm not gonna give you that verse.
So he did this for did the verse ever happen?
No.
They
basically was trying to smut me. I don't even know how you can smut me. So long story short, the tour never happened. They said Ashley got into a group text and said, listen, we could do a TV show worth $250,000 and this and this and that, or we can try to do our own thing with the music. If y'all want to do the show, let me know. I'll send you the locations. We could do a show. We could get paid after the show was aired. I said, I'm open to it, but I got a lot going on. let me get back to you. He was like, well, you could just pull up to it. You could just, if you ain't on to that, just pull up and see how the vibes feel, how you feel the vibes of it. I pull up by myself. Every time I pull up by myself. So when I pull up this last time, we got a Airbnb. These niggas, man, is weird as fuck. Crip Mac was there, and two associates with Crip Mac that I knew from LA. They were with him. So I'm thinking everything cool.
Right.
Whole time he's trying to get me to fight on a TV show, but I'm telling him like, bro, I don't do fake fights. Like
on some baddie shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I told the nigga, I'm like, bro, I don't fake fight on TV shows. What are you like? Who run fake fights, bro? I don't do fake. I really fight niggas, bro. What is you talking about? He like, nah, man, it's for the show. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm cool. I don't do that. So he see me standing my ground. He sends one of his flunkies to be like, yeah, Yah-L, you have reposted some dude on Instagram, man. We supposed to be a team, and you reposted a dude that's all bad. And I'm like, who all bad? He like, he was talking about a dude from Compton by the name of G Uno. You heard him, dudes? So he was like, I said, well, bro, I will never make my brothers look bad. If I reposted somebody that was a snitch and I didn't know, my bad. Like, I apologize.
Right,
so
right.
I didn't know he was a rat. I stopped reposting the shit. So I'm thinking in my mind, like, okay, shit, well, good looking out for letting me know. And then one of the niggas slipped up and said, yeah, I been had the paperwork on him. Well, if you had the paperwork on him, why you never showed it to me? Like, why you never told me? It was like a lot of small intricate shit that wasn't being elaborated, but they were running by it. But long story short, he was like, yeah, man, and I got DP'd before for doing some weird shit. So, niggas get DP'd and niggas, we brothers, we supposed to talk. I'm like, listen, homie, if you feeling some type of way, we could do whatever you want to do. Bro swung and missed, and I two-pieced him. This is the first time we at the show. Yeah, we squabbing. I boom, bam, sock his ass in this shit. He ducked. I'm socking him. I grab him by his braids. I'm punching him. We on the balcony. They pull me in. They like, get him off him. They telling the niggas to get me off of him. So when they pull me off of him, he try to like rush me. I grabbed him and slam him on his neck. Like, nigga, bitch ass nigga, what is you doing? Like, nigga, calm your ass down. So I get up. He fall on my shoulder. My shoulder is kind of sore. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? We stop. I take a shot of Henny. I'm chilling.
Not me.
A shot of Henny. I'm chilling.
Not
I'm
me.
like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm about to go home. This shit weird. These niggas weird. I'm about to leave. I don't know if nigga went and did some drugs. He came back amped up, like saying weird shit, like, yeah, because I slap niggas, and he arguing with somebody, but he's like looking at everybody. And I'm like,
he done already got his ass beat.
And I get up out the chair, like, hey, what? And I'm trying to figure out, like, man, what are you talking about, boy? Didn't we just have a squabble, bro? Like, we just got down. What are you talking about? He said something, and I just said, you know what? I just fired on him. Boom, bam. He ran, turned around, grabbed me. He grabbing my shirt. We swinging. We hitting each other. He's grabbing my sweater. We wrestling and shit. He finally get me, and he get me to the ground. And then as he get me to the ground, I roll over and cover up because he's on top of me, and he's swinging. So I'm like, man, get me up. Let me get up. Like, y'all supposed to be cool with me. Let me get up and squabble him up. They like, nah, it's over. And then they put some footage out like, oh, Yah-L fights this dude. I'm like, but then they put it on the they try to put it on
the baddie, whatever the name of the show. Matter of fact, we ain't even gonna give them no pub.
Yeah,
don't. Put it on and the Swamp Woman's reality show.
So I tell him, like, but he asked me, do I want to be consent to that? I'm like, nah, I don't consent to nobody recording me for no fake fights. I don't do that weird shit. Because he told me the first fight, he was like, man, Luce told me to do that, bro. I ain't got no problems with you, bro. I ain't got no problems with you. And then he did the goofy shit again, and that's when all that shit happened. I'm like, that was weird, bro. And then Wack was on his whole campaign. Yah-L, nigga, you got your ass whooped, nigga, whoop, like all the weird shit. And I'm like, bro, check this out, bro. Ain't no nigga just whoop my ass and all that. I said, if you feel like you can do it, nigga, you come do it.
Right.
He ain't say nothing about it. He was like, oh, your homie said you crazy. Yeah, them niggas know why. I'ma just say that.
So
Them niggas ain't gonna play with.
oh yeah, they say he be drooling in the project, begging for food.
Begging for food, and I'm on pills, and I'm
He on
like,
medication.
I'm a say it open straight like this. Ain't no nigga from my hood ever beat me up or none of that. I done sock niggas up, man. Listen, niggas know. That's all I'm gonna say. Niggas know what's up with me. They know. They know, and that bitch ass.
Damn it, man.
He know what CS2 back know too.
I told you how to get Yah-L riled up, but he on now. Ain't no more Mr. Nice Guy, huh?
Yeah, I see Yah-L.
They know what's up. That's what I'm saying. They know what's up. I done socked up on my own homies for playing with me like that. I done pulled up on Clubhouse and got at niggas like, nigga, you need that? Niggas turned it down. Then the same niggas that turned it down, I ended up socking on them anyway. Like, yeah.
And that went viral also.
Like, I don't listen. If you really feel like you on that level, you want to get down, that's a squabble is nothing. That's easy. That's the easy part for me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's how I got into the whole Wack, the whole CS2 back situation, because he liked to line people up on. So now I have to be way more cautious of the people who try to DM me and work on music. I'll be like, bro, first off, I gotta see your background check. I need to see your paperwork. You been to jail? Let me see that paperwork.
Listen, I'm with you on that, because when y'all came to me, I'm like, I don't know. They done had some connections to Wack. He might be trying to get at my ass, because I done been on him for a minute. I ain't gonna hold you, but of course you gotta kind of be that way when you know who you dealing with. So, and I'm quite sure I got asked, you know. I don't work with him. I don't like him, but I get it. You do have to be cautious, because you never know who he's sending, what he's sending. Like, he's quick to set somebody up.
Yeah, because his bitch ass ain't gonna take no phase. He done ducked about 1,000, include mine. So he ain't
got a long line of people wanting to fade him, and I want front row seats. I'm gonna be there with the camera. We live. We getting the content on Damu-Keyway conversations.
He is not.
Man, listen. Before that happened, the sky had turned green. You hear me? He is not fighting nobody. Trust me. So I want to get into how I got. It's long with us. So I got on Clubhouse with a Brim from New York and another blood from New York named Corey King, and they were upset that a West Coast blood who they considered a big homie because he's from LA, but he's not from LA. He's like Valley, right? So I'm like, well, yeah, bro, I want to stand in unity. I'll stand in unity with y'all. We gonna go on Clubhouse and we gonna get at Wack 100. So as soon as they get Wack 100, War Brim and he ain't War Brim no more, but War and Corey King, and he say, shit, y'all New York niggas act like y'all scared of Corey King and War. Y'all be on me, but y'all ain't got, man, them niggas was like fanboys. The whole energy that they came on Clubhouse with went out the way. It's like they were seeking validation through another man, and that is so gay. It is Damo Day, not fashionable, right? So I was like, all right, I was able to say what I said, and that went viral on Death to the Cloud Chasers. I confronted him. He didn't even know what FHN was, which is the Brims, Fruittown Brims, Harbor Park Brims, Van Ness Gangsters, and the Blackstone. Fruit Harbor Ness and the BPS, but he don't have them type of ties to real bloods in LA. He just knows some people from jail or whatever for when he was in YA. So once I confronted him and told him he was being hypocritical, calling Jim Jones a rat, and Jim Jones was Big U was checking in with Jim Jones in New York. And he like, well, yeah, you know, I don't know. People didn't know that Big U had already cut him off. He was trying to act like everything was still cool. But he like, Big U, I know he big on paperwork. And he must ain't seen the paperwork. I said, well, that's how it go until you see the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? It's long handled spoon because he's suspected. But you know what I'm saying? You don't go and say somebody a rat. And so I said, but what about your interview with Tekashi 6ix9ine? Right. You don't gotta see no paperwork on that. He testified on behalf of the prosecution, got several people locked up, and this and that. So you don't see the hypocrisy in that. And it went from that to the Wack 100 thing, and people, they jacking them off from the on Clubhouse, all of his fanboys or whatever. And then it turned into, look, I see you understand how the politics go, but I'm on this level in these offices when politics don't matter. I wasn't even supposed to be in here, but I believe that the reason I came in here was to meet you. I'm talking about he was fanned out once we had the conversation. So he was like, whatever you need, if I could kick down that door, go up under the wall, around it, we gonna tear through that motherfucker. And so I jumped in his back channel afterwards and I said, respectfully, I ain't on no bullshit with you, but I don't want to do no business with you. First time I ever text him. He's used to groupies with their hands out that ain't got no motion. So that's how he utilizes and leverages being able to deal with him. Even though I told him I didn't want to do that, it went viral. So he got back in my DM. Oh, you telling people you checked me? I said, look, bro, that shit on the internet, people gonna get from it what they get from it. But he said, well, you was acting real nice, but now I'm seeing you really a fan. So I'm like, what? Bro, I sat at the table with Lil Killer Jess, Fat Rat, Catnip, Bebop, Lil Bebop from Jungles. Like, bro, you sat at the table with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm far from a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and he was like, those losers and broke niggas, and you keep doing what you doing, and I'm sure the feds gonna be good at what they doing. This is what the nigga DM me, right? And I do got the receipts. We gonna bring that back up. And the feds gonna be good at what they get. I'm like, the feds? Why is you even talking about some fed shit while we having this situation? But he would come to our room, and mind you, I told you I didn't want no problem.
Right.
He'd come to the UOD room whenever we was running content and find an argument or whatever. But it'd be about the topic, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's his persona, whatever. But it was helping to build the UOD traction and name and presence on the internet. Eventually, I got fed up with him constantly causing ruckus. I don't need that energy in my life. If I wanted to do that, I could go back to gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? Where it's real at. Fuck this internet shit. I go knock something down if we on that type of time, but we not. So I'm like, man, I got on here to try to network, figure out how to secure generational wealth to leave to my son and his son. Like, this is non-productive. Now you got people, because you always coming around following me, you got people that associate me with you in my DMs. Oh, you rat ass nigga. You fuck you and Tekashi 6ix9ine and Wack 100. I done told this nigga I don't want to do no business with him, but he coming into my space and he's claiming Paru. I'm obligated to give a certain amount of respect to him banging Paru, especially from our generation and still being alive. You know what I'm saying? But now you got Crips in my backpack, New York niggas from Rap-A-Lot, Mob Ties, and all kind of niggas talking shit to me like I'm really fucking with him like that. So I said, it's time to separate this. And I called him out for a fade. You know what I'm saying? I made it a reason. Well, first he stepped on, I had a Crip back under contract for a fight. And so he stepped on my toes once he seen my contract and went and announced Blueface want to fight Crip Mac. That was it. Now I'm looking for a reason. Your hating ass trying to step on my chucks, right?
Blueface ain't want no smoke with Crip Mac. We already saw when they passed each other in that hallway.
But Crip Mac ain't got no hands. It's terrible. I know his history. He ain't got no hands like that. And
that's terrible.
He's uncoordinated. But it would have still been a great opportunity for some money. So after that, I got hot. I said, tell that nigga what's up with the fade with Due Sims. So they went while he was announcing the Blueface fight. What's up with the fade with Due Sims? He kicked the dude off the stage. So when I seen him, I say, why you kicked my man's off your stage? He like, I don't know what you talking about. I ain't been on Clubhouse. I ain't opened a room in a week. He was scared as hell, right? I said, damn, this nigga really a pussy, right? So I said, nah, bro, you doing all this bullshit. You in New York business, you in Rap-A-Lot business, you in Crip business, nigga, fuck all that shit. So he like, well, Lamonte, if you want to get down, that ain't nothing. We gonna get out. I said, okay, that's what it is. I said, everybody like, that's what it is. So no more talking. We just gonna make it happen. The nigga texts my phone, a 250,000 good enough for you? Say yes, and we locked in. I said, well, shit, I got my own platform. I was going to do it for free and just whoop his ass pay-per-view on livestreamers.com.
So whoop his ass for the culture.
For the culture, right? And I said, but if I say no and try to make it go to my shit, he gonna back out. So I said, yes. He said, oh, your broke ass just want a bag. That's all it is. I didn't even mention money. But this is what he tried to spin. And he said, when I called him out for the fade, he called me a rat. He said, we going to the 100 side. I got the paperwork on Lamonte, right? So
wait a minute before you get into that. Shout out to Lady E for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated over here when you tip the bartender. Felicia is laughing. Okay. Michelle said this content is great. I especially appreciate Henny. I appreciate you as well. Michelle, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Felicia, Henny, very interesting live tonight. Yes, very. Getting a lot of information. Hey, Boogie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Felicia.
You left out a part where you was delegating that situation with Section.
Oh, I'll let you tell it, and then I'll get back to my story. Go ahead, brother.
So Deuce M's also was delegating the situation with CS2 back because
the only thing I ever did business with him. But go ahead.
And
it wasn't for me, it was for Yah-L.
Right. Because Deuce M's is a Damu and CS2 back is a fake Damu.
Hanging off my nuts.
You know, and then at that time, I didn't know the artist that I was dealing with was signed to him. So we did a record. They came to the studio for free, man, and blessed me with the record. And I didn't know they were signed to him at that point. They were trying to get out the contract. I told them, I don't want to put.
Sorry.
No, you good. I told them at the time I didn't want to put no music out. Anybody dealing with CS2 back, and they were signed to the CS2 back. And I say all to say this: Deuce M's was delegating the release of that Section record with his artist that did the song for free. Mm-hmm. Mind you, we didn't know that they were CS2 back artists because they wasn't mentioning that. They were trying to get away from him. And they finally got away from him. They finally got away, but he had told me to send over my information, send it to his wife at the time. Was it Kimberly? Kim?
Yeah, Kim.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that's what we were doing, and the record never really got clear. So I said, "Fuck it," you know what I'm saying?
And I think you did get the clear because I talked to Kim on the phone. I sent her your information, and he told me it was a go. So,
but I never. Well, that was verbal contractual. I don't know if that was contractual still, but you know, with this shit, it's paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And I never seen any paperwork, but I did get a verbal clearance. So I took that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But being that the artist was still signed to him, I didn't want to do it. But that was the only business that was asked because I asked, and Deuce M's had love for me, got love for me, and he stepped in, delegating for me because he's a respected Damu, and I thought CS2 back was a real part of that culture, but he's not a real Damu. He's a mascot. He's an off brand. He's an off brand. Yeah. We don't respect that nigga out here. I respect real power rules like OG Alatola Marv. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
respect real ones, you know, not niggas like
Big Messy Mar.
Big Messy Mar from Paquema. You know what I'm saying? G-Mac, you know, niggas that stand on what they stand on. Not niggas who perpetrate and fake it. You know, they faking it. I ain't never faked it till I make it, because if that's the case, I would have been made it already.
Right.
Right.
I'm just saying. You know,
so
yeah.
That was the only. Remember, I didn't never want from the beginning. Didn't never do business with Wack 100. I wasn't even managing Yah-L like that. It was more so Wack. I knew Wack was on my nuts at the time, and I knew Yah-L wanted to get that song. So when we were both in a room with Wack, I said, "Hey, Wack, I want to introduce you to somebody." I introduced Yah-L to Wack, and I'm like, he got a song with one of your artists, the Coyotes for Hire, and he said, "Oh, what nephew need? He need clearance." You know, he's trying
to get all in it.
Yeah.
Right. Get it to my wife. I need you to get his information, send it to my wife, right? And he always try to say I was begging him for that, but really I just threw it out there so that they can handle it. You know what I'm saying? And discuss it. But and he tries to throw that in my face. So if he ever give you something, just know, even if he didn't give it to you, he gonna make it seem like he did you the biggest favor in the world for you. But so I would fast forward. Wack 100 that said that, and I ain't even gonna lie, I was ready to crash out. I already told y'all I'm not all the way there, and I've never been a man to accept disrespect from killers, let alone a pussy ass nigga like him. You know what I'm saying? So I was ready to crash out. My mama calling me, my daddy calling me. It's all on the internet. He talking shit about my daddy. His daddy's a crack addict. That nigga ran to Madison, Wisconsin from the homies. He living in witness protection. The nigga daddy was sucking dick in Folsom.
No.
He all the lies and all the shit coming up. I'm like, I'm going to jail, right? When I'm going to jail, right? I'm thinking like, man, how do I get caught up in this situation? And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. It is what it is at this point. But it's on the internet. So who's the stupid dude that gets into it on the internet and then tries to go do something off the internet unless they're ready to go to jail? So I ended up hearing Tiny Draws socked out Wack at the Game Kanye West concert. Wack was walking. Kanye West is whacking one of his homeboys, Kanye West and Kanye West bodyguard. He walking him off the stage. Tiny Draws get cracking. Boom. Slap him. Boom. The nigga crowd dived off the stage and took off running, right? And took off running, runs to the parking lot. When he get to the parking lot, he see Big U and him, another crowd. It was only two dudes that took off on him by the stage. Tiny Draws and somebody else who will remain anonymous. Mm-hmm. Once he get to the parking lot, he done left the two niggas that came with him. He in the parking lot, and the lady ain't lifting the thing up so he can get out the parking lot. He done did it's a standoff, and you gonna do. His daughter and his wife and them was in the car behind him or in front of him. They like, Big U, you gonna do me in front of my daughter, my kids? This how we doing it, Big U? Right? He's begging, but Big U ain't finna do nothing to this dude in front of it. He said, "Just give me the fade. Give me the fade." Every day they talking about him, he didn't want it. Tiny Draws come confront him about the fade, and then Tiny Draws says something which would change the direction of him and his onslaught against me, Yah-L, and those Messy Marv and those Bomani, those that hung with us on Clubhouse. He said, "What's up, young bat? What's up, young bat?" He like, "Back? I don't know no back." He said, "Oh, no, you know about back. You know about Marky Mark. You know about Dale Dog. You know about Stutterbox." He like, "What Stutterbox got to do?" He said, "Nigga, I'm talking about that paperwork." He said, "You saying I'm on paperwork?" He said, "Put that on Power Rule. You ain't on that case." He said, you know, I'm the one that got told on. He said, put that on Pyru. You didn't make a statement. He would not put it on Pyru. So I'm sitting in the UOD with all of these niggas. I'm like, bro, that nigga knows something, right? That nigga said back, bro. What is that? Like a code name or something? Like, nigga, is this Donnie Brasco? What the fuck going on? Right? I said, this nigga is a snitch, right?
Wait, let me just say this. That's a clip. That's on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, that's
so y'all, that's content out there of this that he's talking about right now. Because I remember hearing that, and I remember sitting back like, he put everything on Pyru, but you won't put that on Pyru. That you not back. Every time he said put it on Pyru, Wack started over talking him and trying to duck away from saying it. I remember that. If you missed it, I'm gonna see if I can find it for y'all. What are y'all, Henny Medias? Where y'all at? See if y'all can find that, because we're gonna run that content.
It's Wack 100 versus Tiny Draws. It's on YouTube. It'll pop up as soon as you get it. Classic, right? And so I said it was a week later. The homie, shout out Big Messy, went to the funeral, and his homegirl had a baby by somebody on that case, right? And he called me. He's like, "Hey, bro, remember I told you my homegirl had a baby by somebody on that case?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I got the paperwork. I'm sending you the paperwork." He sent me the paperwork, 3 pages. It was just a transcribed wiretap with Del Dog on the phone, Mark Stevens on the phone, and they're talking about a confidential source who was calling saying, "Look, the feds Stutterbox went sour, and the phones is tapped, right?" So if you know the phones is tapped, first of all, how do you know that the phone is tapped? Right. That means that you've been dealing with these peoples and talking to these peoples, or they didn't catch you on it. And then why would you call me if you know that your phone's tapped for sure?
Right. Get off my phone.
Yeah, get off my phone. But Mark Stevens trying to call Del Dog. Yeah, man. I got a. He's like, "What's up?" He's like, "Hey, man, I got a call from CS2 back, confidential source 2 back. No reason should the police be referring to anyone that's not a confidential source as a confidential source, right?" He said, he want to talk. He trying to holler at you. He said, "Box went sour in the phone." He said, "I'm cool on that, brother. What's up with you though, man?" Switch the topic off that name off the top. So Mark Stevens was kind of discombobulated because he didn't expect that. He like, "Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to figure out what to tell the dude." Because at first I just thought it was those 2 on the phone. But before that, Back had called Mark Stevens, and he just clicked over to make sure he could give him the number, right? So it wasn't a 3-way. He left him on the other line, waiting for the call.
Right.
And he said, "Well, I just want to know what to tell him." You know what I'm saying? He said, "Well, you know, get him to talk about certain stuff on the phone." You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what they got going on, talking about Stutterbox and Back. And then he was like, "Well, that's good information to know, but you know, I ain't been helping the Wack boy in a long time. He just called me out of the blue. Well, he left messages couple times and text me, but so that's how I go." He said, "Well, you know, nigga probably said niggas going to jail, huh?" And then they both start laughing because they had figured out that this nigga was trying to set them up.
Yeah.
So come to find out, when the wiretap started in the Main Street case, that was the first phone call in the wiretaps, right? So I got the paperwork, I flamed him. So half the people on Clubhouse was like, "Yeah, that's him," right? Because he said he saved Shaquille O'Neal and 7 Crips before his big ass mouth. So we like, that was the case, Shaquille O'Neal and the Main Street Crips. So it split up Clubhouse, and then he blocked us. our whole side. He went and brought 2 police to Clubhouse. While I opened my room 10 minutes later, he got Greg Caden, Detective Greg Caden, and Reggie Wright Jr. on Clubhouse in 10 minutes. 2 ex-cops is on Clubhouse to prove to us that he's not working within.
But how you get people on a call that quick if you don't already have a rapport with them?
Right. But even worse than that, right? Greg Caden, he introduced Greg Caden as the lead investigator of the Main Street investigation, which is farthest from the truth. I sent you all of those papers.
You did. That's why I made that face and looked away.
Show me one time where it says Greg Caden's name. It doesn't. Greg Caden got involved with that case, and I got receipts of that also when I was dialoguing with Greg Caden. When they federalized the Main Street case, they kind of crossed roads with the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation because of Stutterbox being a suspect in the Biggie small murder. Wack 100 being around with Death Row, not at the time of the murder, but hearsay and things that he's hearing as part of security with Death Row.
Right.
So after he brought the police, they did a mass block on. If you come on my stage, you getting blocked. If you come on my stage, they had a list of people that he would tell everybody in his room to mass block and report. Right, if you associated with me or the whole team. And then I was like, damn, people just don't want to believe it. And then he ended up, we confronted him, and he was like, ask Mark. No, Stutterbox, he tried to trick Stutterbox and record him and to try to defend what we attacking him with. And let's play Wack talks to Stutterbox, and he played it, right? And Stutterbox told him, like, he said, well, tell me why is they saying, what is they saying I got to do with the case? He said, Wack, they said that you tried to call Dog. He said, I talked to Dog. Hey, Yah-L, go ahead and do that.
Do it, y'all.
I talked to Dog. I talked to Hey, I was on the phone, nigga. You talked? No.
He didn't ever talk to Dog. He said, I talked to Dog, which was a lie because Dog didn't want to talk to him. He said, no. He said, well, no, it said in the paperwork, mind you, this Stutterbox telling Wack on Wack's recorded call, no, Wack, in my paperwork, it said that you tried to talk to Dog and he wasn't trying to talk to you. He said, oh, yeah. Ask Mark. Mark, the one that tried to set up the 3-way. So now he like,
he tried.
God,
you just admitted, like,
right? You just admitted, you dumb. And he put it out and had all of his YouTubers. So we like exposes. We got this nigga. That's you on the phone call. So, he got like a code over there, and they come back and forth. We've been going back and forth for almost 2 years, right? Maybe a little over that. And salute to the whole team that stood up with me, people who defended my name before everything came out of exactly who I really was and all of that. And it's been a lot of people. Hot Girl, Taz Brim, Big Messy, as we mentioned, Bomani, as we mentioned, G-Mac, all of those that defended me, gave me platforms. Alex Alonso on Street TV interviewing me in my set. Because remember, I'm supposed to be in witness protection. So how am I in the projects in my hood and on 37 Drive, when that's headquarters, on the red end, the dead end, but we call it the red end, and I'm supposed to be in witness protection. So they allowed to amplify my voice in the truth against this onslaught. And then I ended up, he said, go ask Mark. Mark knows who did it. Well, I got on the phone with Big U for the first time, and we dialogued. It was issues specifically with the grid program and questions that I had. Once we got over that, and I was satisfied, and comfortable moving forward. We talked about another issue with him and my brother in the LA County Jail, and he told me that story, and I'm like, man, what's up with Mark Stevens? He said, man, I'm gonna do this how we supposed to do it. I'm finna get him on the phone right now for an interview and make sure he make sure he let y'all record him. I said, wait. I said, you gonna do that right now? He said, yeah, nigga, I ain't from Main Street. The only reason that Wack 100 is attacking me every day because he knew I had finally read the paperwork and found out he was a rat.
Wow.
So he put me on with Mark Stevens. Once we did the Mark Stevens, we get Stutterbox on interview Stutterbox, and then we put together a documentary. Once I finished the documentary, I wanted everybody to get it. Big U was like, I got the Checking In podcast and promotion agreement with World Star. Whatever I do for podcasts, World Star gonna put it up for the Checking In. So I'm like, oh, that's good. So once it came down to it, World Star was like, nah, we not gonna do it on the Checking In. We just gonna put it up there as a World Star premiere video. Register your shit. Let me get my.
And while you get your register, just to remind those of y'all who don't remember or who are trying to put it together, if you were on Henny Gang, if you were over on IG, I told y'all this already. That documentary that came out last year, where they were saying that Wack was CS2 back, Due Ms is the one who is responsible for that documentary being put together. And now those of us who are over in the Krishan sector, we all saw that video. We were all talking about that video. That video went hella viral because it was the main topic of conversation. You also heard, if you didn't catch it, the reason why Wack and Big U were no longer cool with each other because Big U got the paperwork on him showing that he was a rat on a case. So he stopped dealing with him. That's where all of this Big U beef is coming from. So right. I didn't want to speak on it. I wanted y'all to speak on it, but now that it's been brought out on the platform, I'm going to speak on stuff that y'all want to know about, if I can speak on that, because I also believe in staying in my lane as well. But y'all just basically got the answers to a lot of questions that y'all have in y'all minds that are new to coming over here, because y'all know I came from the Krishan sector and Wack is tangled up in there, so it just became natural for me to troll him. So right. I started, I don't even call it trolling him. I was exposing him. I've been exposing him for a while now. So once I fell into this sector, it kind of was natural. So now those of y'all who are following me over here, now you know the backstory. But continue, Deuce.
So we dropped, Big U and them did me a big solid. They said, we're not going to release it with Checking In. What you call it is going to be a World Star premiere. Register it, which I did that day that it was released. Register it, copyright and protect it. You get all the money from the documentary. We just want to help promote it to get the truth out. I said, damn, right? They put the video up on World Star Hip Hop. First day, 1 million views. Second day, another 1 million views. By the fourth day, we was at 3 million views, and Wack 100 somehow had somebody take it down. I never received a takedown notice, no notification or nothing, and we will be pursuing all of our legal remedies sooner than y'all think. Trust and believe that. But that's how I got into that sector of Clubhouse versus Wack 100 and becoming what he says his arch nemesis.
So y'all got the backstory on that. How did y'all come into partnership with Big U outside of the paperwork and all of that? Like, how did this?
I think it's our philanthropy and our love for our community. Mm-hmm. I think that I don't know nobody in Los Angeles in my lifetime that's been as instrumental with the philanthropy and the things that he does in the community consistently for over 20 years. right? So looking at him, people might see a gangbanger and listen to the reputation that he had as a gangbanger. Me and him, if we was on gangbang time, it would never work. You know what I'm saying? We two rival neighborhoods, worst enemies, really. Brims, Van Ness Brims is right there across the street on Arlington, where he from, AG. So people look at him as the gangbanger, but I always seen him in a different light. I seen him as like a Fred Hampton or maybe a Malcolm X, right? And being able to be on the phone with him, sometimes we might be talking about Islam, or we might be talking about the YSL Gunner case, and I hear him talking to these kids, and he's teaching them how to take a water hose and water the lawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kids the kids telling them they never drink from the water, what you call it, and it was just shocking, right? And he teaches, look, this is how you set up the sprinkler and water your lawn and do this, right? Then I started hearing parents coming to him and I don't have enough money to do this, and my lights getting cut off, and it comes not one person, then it's 10, 20, 30 people, and this man ain't Jay-Z. This man ain't got hundreds of millions of dollars, but he finds a way to help all of those in his community to make it through to the next day. So that's when me and him kind of linked up, and then he had told me, he was like, y'all stand on principle. I'm not doing no interviews unless it's Damu-Keyway conversation. Either y'all gonna be with me or I'm gonna be with them, or I'm gonna be with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then from that, he plugged me with Splitterillo, which is an old why we doing this? Shout out, you color rap.
That was coming. United Color Raps. Like, let's get into that.
Right. So Splitterillo was an old blunt company or whatever. If you've been smoking weed as long as me, you heard of them. And they came with a new healthier brand, a healthier version of tobaccoless wraps.
Mm-hmm.
With colors, and it was a perfect merger. Red and blue. Damu's trying to bring together unity. You see the Compton, the Bompton Peace Walk. You see the LA Crip ceasefire talks yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's just the spirit within our community. So I seen, I'm like, this is so perfect for our movement. You know what I'm saying? It just, everything that we try to push when it comes about unity, better in our community, it epitomizes that. This is the perfect strategic alliance. He put me on the phone with AK. Shout out AK, man. Shout out you Color Raps and Cones on IG. And we negotiated. You know what I'm saying? Big U didn't ask for $1 in this deal. He didn't negotiate that deal. He put me in a position with somebody he knew that could help me and that I could help. And I don't have that many followers. My numbers was up, but they went up like they is now, and they continue to grow. But he had faith in me, and he put me in that position. We agreed to a partnership, a strategic alliance with the United Color Raps, now Color Raps and Cones, and they'll pay me X amount of dollars every month. And then they will be coming out with the Damu-Keyway conversation rolling papers. That
Nice.
brand, I think they already printed up 250,000 bags. And then after the launch, they're going to be promoting that with the Color Raps. So now it merges over. We piggyback off the Color Raps, right? Hey, shout out Zoo Life. United Color Raps are in Jersey. Shout out Zoo Life, man. Zoo Life was just with us in LA. He plugged me with the cameraman. Salute to Zoo Life. I heard y'all did y'all thing out there in Jersey. Like 8 hoods. You know what I'm saying? Salute. But all over the nation, though, it's a campaign because this month They'll be in 150,000 stores nationally.
I just shot you my address so you could send me mine so I could prop it up
I
somewhere
got
and everybody could see it. You know.
All right, I got so I'll do that tomorrow when I mail out this other stuff. But we got the content. I'll be hearing about that. But yeah, that was the perfect match. And then after the color wraps with Big U, what you call it, the bags are going to be promoting Damu-Keyway Conversation. It has our barcode on it, so people could go straight to YouTube and subscribe and follow our movement. So you got 250,000 people that's going to be hearing about the Damu-Keyway Conversation. And then once that growing continues to, once we continue to grow to that point, then we'll be coming with the Damu-Keyway Conversation raps.
Okay. So now, Yah-L, I got a question for you that everybody wants to know. How did you start mastering voices?
Man, being that I know how to like sing and I know how to do, like I mimic what I hear. Like my ear to hear stuff, like to articulate it and like to do replica of it. You know what I'm saying? So like, for example, like when I'm in the studio and I'm doing like high pitched type octaves, my voice octave will change. Like
Okay.
from high to low to low. Like it goes, so like I could get my voice to do different tones, you know? And like CS2 Back got a character that is funny. So I'll be like, he'd be like, hey, look, I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Like that, or I do the fight crib. Like it's like the note, like it's the sound. Like in my ear, I'm hearing it and I'm mimicking it the way I hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, I just tried it one day. You know what I'm saying? Or like E40, somebody else's work. Like I when I hear certain things, I like, oh, let me see if I can do
Love Boys.
You know, because I'm a, you know, like it just, you just hear it. Like when I hear it, I mimic it. And if I get it to the right tone, if I can get it to in R&B, like in musical, the right key, then I catch it in my ear and I do it. So
that's what I was gonna say. Is it like hearing music notes to you? Like it's the pitches of things.
It's like I gotta hear it. I gotta keep hearing it though. Like
You need to do a cartoon series, y'all.
I got to feel it. Like you give me like
you need to do an animated series.
Yeah, I could do it animated. Yeah, I could do that.
Like seriously, because you got the voices for it.
Yeah, most definitely. Like
what is they talking about? Selena that went off the long end and said she wanted a banana.
She said banana wraps. She wants the banana wraps.
Oh, I didn't see that part. Hold on. Okay.
Listen, you know my chat be cutting up. So I can't put them on the. I can't put them on the screen.
Hey, you want a finger or you want a banana?
Uh oh. What's the next?
Henny, take a shot.
All right. So the digital music that y'all doing, unique music, is who? Explain that.
That's Big U's platform. Go to uniquemusic.com. Make sure you subscribe. So essentially what it is, it's a multifaceted app that's still under construction, and it's 2 other apps that's merging with it. So he has that platform and he got the Go Find It app, and I forgot the name of the other one that they're building, that they're going to be merging with the unique music. It allows distribution like DistroKid would, or CD Baby, or one of the platforms. Independent artists release their music. He does it for free, charges no royalties or percentage of royalties. Then you have a space where it's just like Clubhouse. But the difference is, instead of it having just a picture or PTR of of who you are, whatever you put on your PTR, you can your video chat. Unlimited amount of people in the room with the ability to moderate and control it. You can mute everybody up, and we could be doing this interview just how we doing it right now in a room of 10,000 people. Right?
Now, y'all music is on there, both of y'all?
No, I didn't distribute my music through Unique Music, but when I come through right now, I'm going through Unique Music. You know what I'm saying?
But don't you have an app you're working on too, a streaming app?
Yeah, but I ain't got enough money to get the patent. The patent is you already talking about 10,000 for that. Then the engineering. But I got the plans and everything out, and I should be having that money. You know what I'm saying? Any day. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely really get to that. But yeah, I do got an app coming. It's called Hip Hop Planets. So when y'all see that, and just know that's when I finally changed my phone number, and only the Henny gang, Damu-Keyway conversations gonna have my new number. Yeah.
All right. So final question. I'm gonna wrap it up for you guys. Y'all know, you look like you had a long day.
Man, I'm the Keyway pop star. It never stops for me, man. If I'm not dealing with Deuce, or now I'm not dealing with the Henny gang, I'm dealing with these people at the job. I'm dealing with people at the studio. It's always something.
So people on the Henny gang side want to know, how did y'all find me?
It was the content. You have ran some content. I can't recall. And I think Smoked Out TV. Shout out my boy Smoked Out TV. Shout out Scandalous Los Angeles too. But I think Smoked Out was like, I told her I was gonna react to it, and she said it's cool. You remember that video that was?
That was the game's transcript read.
Right. So I'm like, man, that's some great content. Damn, she cool. Oh, they over there supporting. I love that whole energy, right? And I swear to God, I had a dream like 2 weeks before, and it said you need to get a female to balance out what y'all talking about, what y'all cover. So I was like, damn, that would keep me from staying in the gutter with it and to evolve into a better level, because females don't want to hear all of the gutter bullshit. They might tune in. It was entertaining. It is this ain't my thing, right? They want the tea, right? So or the Henny. They want the Henny.
They want you to get straight to the Henny.
Right. They want the Henny. So then we talk. I'm like, man, that'll be perfect to get her in here. She's articulate, she's intelligent, she's passionate about Krishan Rock. So and she kind of got a hood. She not ghetto, but you can tell she from the hood. And I talked to Yah-L about it. He felt that. I talked to Smoked Out. I talked to Scandalous. I talked to Big U. Everybody fell in love with Henny. Right? So
hey, Niche, give me a shot.
Even CS2 back fell in love with Henny, right? So
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Off the steaks, all right?
But
I don't eat steaks.
Right. But even more than that, the way that we started seeing how hard they would go for Henny. And I said, they love that girl. And in my mind, I know it's people hate you for whatever you do, but to find 10 people that love you for what you do, to find 100 people that love you for what you do, but to find hundreds or 1,000, that means they love you for a reason. So my whole thing after that was, okay, I understand the business aspect. I understand how this benefits me, but I need to understand why they love Henny. And I got to talk to Selena when she was helping to set up. Shout out Selena, man, for helping Henny out. You know what I'm saying? Taking a little bit of pressure off.
For the interview, everything, man. Thank you for setting it
up. And she gave me a little bit of her backstory and how she met you and how she went viral, and they target her, try to spread rumors, and how you stood up for her and said, I got you, right? And I said, damn, that sounds like what I did with Yah-L. That sounds like what I did with Big Messy. That sounds like what I did for Bomani and even Big U. They slander Big U name. He wasn't he ain't no internet guy till today. You see, he rarely comes on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But when they was slandering my name, Big U came to my aid and plugged me with Mark Stevens, which helped me change the tide in the direction and start exposing the exposers and who they really was. So when you there for me, you can guarantee if you give me 100%, I'm gonna give you 110%. You know what I'm saying? And when Selena told me that, I said, that's what that was the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen in you that same characteristic to those that you care about and those that rock with you. So yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I like the name Hennessy, so I was like, oh, Henny. But nah, you're very articulate. You're very elaborative when you explain this stuff. I think you do a well-versed job of doing that. And like Due said, you bring a balance to the whole testosterone. You know, it's a lot of male testosterone over here. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you do bring that balance, and the fact that you do know how to elaborate, and you do know how to edify the things that you speak on, and you do it very intelligently, we appreciate that, and we appreciate the Henny snipers that you brought with you, because they be on their job where they be like, I remember I called it the Henny-ettes. They was like, we ain't the Henny-ettes. We the Henny snipers. I was like, oh, my bad.
I had to call you immediately. Like, wait a minute. They don't like that. You can't call them that.
Y'all the snipers?
They
Y'all
snipers.
are the snipers. My bad.
Understand this, with or without a wrench, they are snipers. Because if they see something about me somewhere, they're going in. They don't play about me, and I don't play about them. I want to say this, like I'm grateful for being brought into the fold, because it's different when you out here and you dealing with something like, and I'm gonna say something like a Wack 100 who has a whole force behind him, and you out here by yourself. It is different. But when you got a team behind you that's going to step with you and for you and vice versa, it makes it a lot different to where you can get up here and do what you got to do because you're not alone. And y'all took me in. Y'all are like,
Well,
I like the big brothers.
Like, he got us worldwide tuning in from New Zealand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Henny Gang is definitely worldwide. We are across the pond. We're in London. We're in Australia. We got Henny Gang everywhere. So I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for y'all bringing me in and accepting the Henny Gang, because Henny Gang be mobbing.
Hey, y'all. Hey, listen. I joined one of y'all lives one day, and I was like, whoa.
Oh no, they was X-rated, and they was asking for you, y'all. They was like, where y'all at?
They are not worried about me, bro. They
were asking for you, because it was the second video that I did, because the live ended and I came back. Because those are supposed to be subscriber lives, and I accidentally went public live, and then we just started talking about things, and boom.
I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I was like, is this the Henny After Dark show? Like, what
in the middle of the afternoon.
hey, Deuce, I was ready. It's Henny After Dark. Let's take a shot. It's shot o'clock. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Did that happen to them? Is this really Henny? Is these the snipers? Boy, I was like, man.
Hey, and then I learned what the scissors mean too, y'all. We gonna chop it up when we get back.
Oh no, bro.
You know what the scissors mean?
You done told the secret. He knows.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Okay, I don't mind. I'll tell it. I'm gonna tell it. Y'all throw the scissors in the chat because I'm about to tell the scissor story. So I got some haters. Okay, I got haters. And one of the haters said that the Henny gang is a lesbian cult
Oh my gosh,
and
we
that
got
I
cult
am
members.
their leader. So we embraced it. And so we throw scissors in the chat.
There go the scissors in the chat.
This is our signal right here. Okay. We wear flannel, and on Wednesdays we wear pink. So tomorrow you will see some pink somewhere. Well, I don't have to because my nails are pink this week. But yeah, we've embraced it because it's just like, all right, y'all want to talk about us.
So basically we adopted the lesbian code. Got it.
No, they just mocking them, kind of
They're
like me when
mocking
I
them.
say it feels good to be out of witness protection.
Yeah.
I know. It's just that's just how people. Well, thank you, head lesbian cult member leader Henny.
Well, Henny,
scissor.
Before you go, Henny,
Yeah.
I want everybody to be tuning in all week. We got a lot of content. Oh, Reggie Wright Jr. I heard what you said, and that was a bullshit apology. You still standing on that somebody jumped me or DP'd me? That never happened in my life. I'm the one that gave the DPs. Remember, I told you I never got courted on. Nobody could court me on. I was bred into a position from the beginning, bro. So for you lying and you want it to be up, or we can discuss this like gentlemen on your platform. It's going to be your decision. But pick wisely and choose wisely. You see what I did to your little homie CS2 back. You know what I'm saying? But on a more positive note, on Saturday, we got the representatives from the Trouble Gangster Crips, representatives from the Hoovers, and the Gangster Cards talking about the peace in LA, a real Damu-Keyway conversation. And I got a surprise. Well, I can't bring out the surprise because Henny gonna bring that out.
Okay. Henny's being surprised because there's gonna be a surprise that I don't know about. So I'm surprised.
Right.
Yah-L, now before we go, you have to sing.
Yeah, baby, I'm gonna do it for you.
No.
You got to sing before we close this out.
Oh man,
he looks so sleepy. Come on, because I know you want to get off and go to sleep. So give us a good one. Bust something real quick, just a couple bars in the chorus, so that the Henny snipers, you know what I'm saying, know how you coming, man.
Let me see. I'm not here to break happy home, but I can't help it if it's already broke up. I'm gonna just give y'all that, man.
Okay, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right, your music. Y'all music is on every platform.
All major platforms.
All right, so y'all can definitely go look up their music. Keep up with Damu-Keyway conversations. Now that I have people that can help structure things that I'm doing, look out for new things coming from Henny as well. Thank y'all for tapping in and tuning in with us. Is there any final words that y'all would like to say to everybody or want anybody to know before we close?
Dudes, you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I said everything.
Man, I love my brother Freddie Sanders, man. I'm here for you. I love my daughter. Anybody that's going through any kind of slander, wrongful incarceration, please reach out to Damu-Keyway Conversations and that girl Henny. We standing on business over here, man. And if you guys are new to the live, or if you guys are new to our faces, you guys new to hearing all this information, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, go tell a friend, tap in. We will get your story out. It's not just about clout or nothing over here. We really stand on business from two sides of the tracks. We came together like this, and we just hope everybody was edified throughout this whole interview. Hope some information will help. You got to adjust of me and Deuce. Appreciate Henny with the interview. Thank you, Celine.
Selena with the team, everybody, the Henny snipers. We appreciate you guys and the super chats. Bless, thank you, and I hope everybody have a blessed night, man.
Deuce.
Shalom. That's all.
Shalom, to my brothers.
All right, y'all. So y'all know how we close it out. When y'all rest well. Thank y'all for tapping in and tuning in with us. Love is always love, and we will see y'all in the next video. Peace, y'all.
Peace.